Cool. Yeah, it's probably been, I'd say, a week since y'all got done talking to Carla and everything that kind of happened there. Been pretty quiet. Y'all are hanging out in the office, just doing research, minding the phones, checking equipment, making sure everything's clean and ready and everything. And you hear a knock at the door.
Deckard, I got the door last time, dude, and all kinds of shit hit the fan. I'm gonna give this one to you, put my foot up on the desk, and just start sipping my coffee.
Oh, I got you there. Door's unlocked. Come in.
Fuck. Alright, yeah, that works.
Door doesn't open.
Well, that's unfortunate. I got it. Hold on.
I was gonna look at you and be like, odd or evens, man. 1, 2, 3, go. Appreciate it.
So
you
I,
open the door.
yeah.
Yeah, you open the door. There's nobody there. No, you look down the hallway. There's nobody there. You look down. There's a business card on the ground in front of you.
Pick it up.
Okay, let me find the right thing. This one. You find this.
Okay. Come in and just kind of flip it to Kyle. But somebody left us a card, I suppose. He's joking on himself. Oh,
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry, man. I was eating a Pop-Tart. It's kind of my comfort food. What is
don't
it?
get too comfortable. You get a little doughy around the mid there.
Bro, I hit the gym on the regs. We're really gonna start trying to body shame right now? Because that's rude ass shit.
Listen here, Tubby. It was meant as a jokey comment, but okay. I don't know what it is. It just says the network meets at the beacon a couple days a week. So
All right,
yeah, that's it.
I'm trying to do something here. Hang on just a minute. I want to show the
Card
stream.
that I made.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do.
With a couple Google searches.
There's a Stramalama Ding Dong. Nope. That's not where I want to be. I want to be right here. Yeah, that's it.
Why can't I? There it is.
But yeah, it meets Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at the Beacon, 6 p.m., 6 a.m. And do you know what the way station is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, same times? Ring any bells for you?
Nah, man. You've been here a lot longer than I have, dude. That doesn't sound familiar at all.
Well, I'm not much at the clubbing type, but I know the Beacon is that one.
Hey, there it is.
That one
Nice.
place.
Well, we know the Beacon is that bar that doesn't exist that we weren't supposed to find, but were at the same time. So, looks like you and I got a date, my dude.
I mean, do we?
Looks at the calendar. What's the date? What is today?
Tuesday.
Well, looks like we're either a day early or a day late. Pick one, because we're somewhere in the middle. We can't go there until well, wait, I'm reading this wrong. So they're open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but this way station thing, that's kicking off tonight.
Yeah, but I don't know what. I don't know. Well, let me rack my noodle for a minute. I can't remember what the way station is.
Yeah, go ahead and give it a gander. See if you can pull anything out of that brain of yours.
Investigate my memory, I suppose.
I mean, you can.
That's a 9.
You've heard in your time on the force different places called the way station over the years. It was never a single location. Sometimes it would be a subway in the east side of town. Sometimes it was an abandoned warehouse was called the way station for a while once. It's been kind of all over town, different places. It never really seemed to make much sense.
What'd you find out?
Now I think back on it, a couple places have been called the way station over my time. Sometimes abandoned subways, old buildings, stuff like that. But it's never one place all the time.
Is it like a code for kind of like a gathering kind of thing, or?
I mean, it might be one of like them underground raves where they like have predetermined locations and you just swap up the location depending on the date.
You kind of see me lean back at my desk, pull out some. You hear something.
If you
some
put on
rustling.
them gloves, I'm gonna come over there and smack you.
Looks at you. Here's pressing some more, and here, and then I pull out 2 glow sticks. I'm like, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna box you out. Sorry, sir, it won't happen again.
Where'd I put my gun? Hold on a minute.
Well, yeah, I guess, well, after he's kind of given me a little bit to work on, is there anything I can scour on the net to get more details on specifically what this way station is?
Doing some digging, looking through all of that, going through your usual channels, your usual back doors. You don't, from what you find, there's a few different like police reports where hey, we went to go check this out. There was a noise complaint or whatever, and then there was nothing there. Every time it seems to come up, they've never found anything tying to it. I will say you start to get the impression that being that they're both on the card with the beacon, or being that it's on the card with the beacon as well.
Some kind of low-key stuff.
Yeah, probably some kind of same thing that's similar in the vein to the beacon, but maybe not quite the same.
Okay. Well, D, maybe, since we're not really going to be able to find out where this place is since it's super low-key, stupid question, but is there anything on the back of the card?
The back of the card, so the front of the card says the network with the N.
Okay.
The back of the card has the N with the details.
Well, maybe we can go see if, they might not be open, but maybe somebody might be around the bar that we can go talk to see if they can point us in the right direction. Obviously, this is some type of invite. Or, I don't mean to like press, and maybe sometimes it's best to let sleeping dogs lie, but you could, can you call your wife?
I'm sorry, do you mean the proprietor of the beacon?
Wow, it's like that, huh?
Well, that's how it seemed to me that she wanted it, so yeah.
I walk over to you, kind of put my hand on your shoulder. I'm like, dude, that's a pretty bad situation, man. Yeah, I understand, but I feel like that lead or that location is probably our best thing to go off of. If you don't want to make the call, that's fine. We can just go over there. Maybe run into the bouncer again. I don't know.
You could always make a call if you feel like you have a better rapport with the staff than I have currently.
Accurate. Rebuttal. So, can't find any phone numbers for this place because obviously it's kind of low key.
How was I gonna call it?
I maybe have your wife's phone number or something. I don't know, man.
I can give you my wife's cell phone number, but it was in the house when
right.
I'm pretty
so
sure it's not.
I think we just go ahead and mosey on over there. Maybe get a bite to eat on the way because these Pop-Tarts ain't cutting it, my guy. Sound good to you?
No, it sounds like a shit show, but all right, let's do it anyway.
Yeah. Can you maybe try just this one time, dog? Maybe this one off to
burn down the building? Sure, I'll give it a shot.
I was gonna say do the opposite of that and just.
Oh, I see what you're going for.
Yeah. Like, there's where you are. We need to go. We need to flip it. Right. There's lines, and you're like, I'm going to do my way, but we got to, like, I don't think we should really piss these people off. The agency, on the other hand, kind of, like, looks over. He's like, kind of okay with pissing them off at this point.
I mean, you reach a certain point in your life when you're just like, fuck it. You piss off whoever you want because you want to. It's a great place to be.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but being a dick for being a dick's sake is one thing, but being a dick to other people that aren't being mean to you is kind of fucked up at the same time. But the agency, man, I don't know about them. Kind of like just starts having like this blank stare and kind of trails off a little bit, and you kind of just see him just kind of just like, what the hell is he thinking about? And I just kind of like start shaking my head. I'm like, God damn it. Anyways, man, yeah, I'll go ahead and drive. Let's go grab a burger or something on the way, and we'll go check out the beacon.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. It's pretty quiet, normal, everyday kind of trip, and you get there without any issues, without any running into anything or anything like that. While you're driving around, you kind of so you make your way back to where it was located before, or you think you do. But as you're driving, you notice that whenever you start talking, and by the time you get there, you're in an entirely different part of town. But you see the sign for the beacon and everything down the street.
It's basically kind of like shrouding itself. Can that be assessed? It's there, but it's not because of what it is.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You can see it. You don't know that everybody can see it.
Right. Because of mist.
Because it's special.
It's a special boy. It's a special flower. Hey D, we're here, man. Let's finish these burgers real quick and I guess go in and see what's up with all this jazz.
That sounds like a fun idea.
All right. Gets out the car and I'll go up to the door.
Same doorman. He sees you walk up and he kind of raises up in his chair and he goes, "Oh, welcome back," and kind of just slides the door open.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. I'll just mosey on in. My friend back there has promised to not be an asshole today. Okay, well, right now. I'm not gonna say today.
I wasn't an asshole last time we were here.
He doesn't even really seem like he's just is like, "Yep, both of you come on in."
Mosey on through the door.
It's pretty normal. I mean, it's open. So it's like noon when you get there, right? Everything's open, everything's set up. There's not many people. There's a few people coming and going though.
Do I see and recognize anybody?
You see a few of the patrons that you saw last time you were there. Like you notice a few people that look similar.
I walk up to the bar. Dos cervezas, por favor.
Grabs a couple things and like dunk dunk.
And
Thanks,
then
man.
whatever he's gonna have.
Oh, wow. I thought you were being generous for once.
Slides one over to him.
Oh, God. Thank you. It's not like I had to say something about it.
How'd that girl turn out? She get over being lit on fire? Because I actually feel kind of bad about that.
He kind of looks at you and goes,
I think her name was Stella. I think y'all might have called her the Countess. You know, Mrs.
"When did you fight Stella?"
Oh, that was what, couple days ago, couple weeks ago. I don't remember.
Takes a minute and looks at you and everything and is like, "Oh, that was you. Okay, yeah, she's fine."
Yeah, I know. I've put on some weight since then.
And lost it and got it back again.
You see him pull his cheek out and just,
"Oh, what are you guys doing back?"
You ever
Well-
heard of the way station?
Pulled a little invite thingy out of my pocket and kind of put it on the table. Like, we had this dropped off at our office this morning or afternoon.
I wish I had a business card in here, and I don't. He takes it and and I guess these work. He takes it and kind of holds it up to the light and everything, and kind of gives it one of the flick kind of thing, and is like slides it back across the counter sheet and is like, well, that's cool. You don't see many of those anymore. Yeah, he's not here today. He's at the other location today.
Who's he and what other location?
Right out of the network.
This is that the person or the place?
That's what I know him as.
So he is the network. Okay, let me pull that out real quick.
Do you mean the place you guys were last time?
No. Different establishment. I take it you guys have never been there before?
No, the only place that we've
That
come
would be
across
an
like this
affirmative.
is just us.
Keep the
This-
card on you. And he grabs a napkin and a pen off the counter behind him next to the register, and he writes down an address, and he goes, this will change tomorrow.
Like the writing wheel or the location?
The location.
Okay, because I didn't know, maybe you had like a magic decoder pen or something.
Did you get it out of your Ovaltine, old man?
Fuck it, most people just said Nesquik, you old fuck.
Once you've been there,
Ovaltine.
you shouldn't have a problem finding it again.
All right.
Appreciate
Look at the address and kind of just what kind of area does it look like? Like, just based off the address, is there a way to kind of discern that? I'll just punch it into GPS, like Google
Okay.
Street View.
It takes you toward old industrial.
Okay.
Lots of old abandoned factories and stuff down that way.
Old industrial. That's what I call my penis.
I would say broken and dilapidated, man, but
That's
I
what you
mean-
call your penis? That's terrible. You should give it a better name. Damn, you ain't never gonna get chick that way.
wet noodle.
That's a little bit better.
Um,
Not much, but a little bit.
what can you tell us about this network guy before we go talk to him? If you even know anything.
If you're
Ooh.
at liberty to say.
Kind of looks at you and goes, well, I've never talked to him. He's never had business with me before, but from what I hear, he runs he runs a pretty clean track. He the fact that you have his card tells me more about you than it does him, if that makes sense.
So is this other establishment that you talk of, just so I kind of understand what's going on? This is the Beacon. Is this other
Mhm.
kind of like establishment? Is that the other name that's on this card?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, oh man, I really hope this goes a lot better than it did the first time we came across a place like this. Wish me luck.
At least you have an invite this time.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Eating some peanuts. All right, well, I guess Dekard, looks like we're heading to this industrial area.
Alright, is there like a dress code? Just the card will do.
Y'all are fine. The card will get you in.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you.
On the way
I'll
out.
tip the man.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Since we're still kind of broke, I give him like $2. Before we get out of here, man, do you want to go see it, maybe talk to your wife, or you just want to just not?
I'm quite certain she's terribly busy, so I'd rather not bother.
Suit yourself, man. All right, go ahead and get back in the car and head off to this industrial site / zone.
Okay. Yeah, you follow the GPS. It takes you, I would say, better part of an hour, but you get there without issue. It looks abandoned. You don't see any other vehicles. You don't see any people. It's just quiet.
Dekard,
Yep,
you ever seen RoboCop?
I have. It is a delightful movie that I would buy for $1.
I'd see what you did there. You know that last scene of the movie, you know, where like Clarence Bonniger and all that jazz is going on?
The part where he gets the henchman that shoots up the gas station, real asshole,
Yeah, that
gets pointed to.
that guy. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just hit like a wet balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely getting those kind of vibes here, my dude.
As you're driving around this old industrial complex that's just been left to shambles and just to rot, you kind of drive up and down the different lanes that they had for trucks and everything. And after probably 15 minutes of driving around, you see just out of nowhere, just in any of the random doors that you've been passing by, you see a guy just standing there, just kind of like this. And the door looks brand new.
Completely out of place.
Like the walls are ruins, everything looks around him is just the way it looks everywhere, but he's standing there in nice clothes and the door looks brand new.
Who's gonna ruin that outfit standing like that?
I'd be worried about the rust and all the other stuff that's floating around here too, man. That's a pretty nice looking suit. Wish I could get me one of those. Maybe someday. Go ahead and just park the car. Boop, park it. There's no other vehicles around here.
I don't see any.
All right, well, I guess we should probably go talk to the doorman, dude. Get out of the car and kind of lean back against it.
I just gotta know, are you this eloquent when you talk to the ladies?
I have a tendency to speak faster than what my brain can interpret.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't make sense to a lot of people.
So
but,
you keep that foot in your mouth is what you're saying.
Right, but it kind of works out for me because it's kind of charming at the same time. I mean, I don't know.
You give off like a Woody Allen vibe, like your little Asian stepdaughter ought to watch out around you. Is that what you say? That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Looks him, raises his eyebrow, and says, "What?" Like Woody Allen.
Anyway, let's go on. Let's just go on and talk.
Walks over towards the doorman and
It's not a Woody Allen movie per se, but you ever seen Lost in Translation? I actually really like that movie. It's a good movie.
Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
ScarJo, she's in it too.
That's actually a really good movie. That's actually
it is a great movie. It is.
Walk over
It's
to the
got the
door,
human
dude.
drama.
Man, there's so many good movies out there. Kind of just starts walking over, and like I'm just running through some of my favorite movies in my head now that we're talking about movies. Like, Big Trouble Little China, RoboCop, RoboCop 2. Thinks about RoboCop 3 and kind of like spits up a little in his mouth a little bit.
You didn't like RoboCop 3? I thought it was an interesting way to end the series, but it was alright. It wasn't any far off brand.
As we're approaching it, I'm like, funny thing is it doesn't end there because they actually got his own TV show and a cartoon.
I remember the cartoon, and the TV show was more like a retelling of the movie series because it went into like the prototyping. And it was a good show.
I'm gonna name my first kid Ed 209, and walk as soon as I say Ed 209. Like I kind of reach out and hand the card to the doorman, and then I'm like,
They're standing there.
We was given this card,
Kind
man.
of watching you two talk and walk your way up to him and everything, and just kind of looking looking like. From an outsider perspective, very much like he's getting ready to have to get off the wall and go to business and take care of the situation because like, what the fuck are you two doing here?
I like, bro.
Handing like you hold out the card and he goes, takes the card, does the same thing, holds it up to the light, flicks it one good time, and is like, pockets the card, reaches back behind him, down like near his waist, and like hits the wall 2 times, and you see this little goblin guy kind of come crawling out of the bush next to him, and runs over to the car, jumps in the driver's seat, and takes off.
Hey, Dekard, that looks like what you had for lunch yesterday.
A
After
car?
he takes off, he pushes the door open and everything. He's like, "Go on in."
I refuse to let you name your kid Ed. 2009. No, not gonna happen.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Murphy, that'd be. And just walks in.
Nice. I walk in, I'm behind him, I'm like, Dekard, it's you. What the
Yeah.
hell is this place?
Inside of this place looks the exact same as the last bar. Like, every drink on the shelf is the same. Every table is in the same spot. Every stool is in the same. Like,
So it's
They
a
are-
franchise.
perfect mirrors of each other. Only the difference is the people inside of it.
Hey, Dekard, speaking of which, how much you think it takes to invest in a joint like this? Because obviously we're in the wrong line of work, dude.
Sadly, more than we have, I guarantee.
I would say that's not saying much, but it's also saying too much. I get cross-eyed for a minute. Never mind. Walk over to the bar. And
Bartender is a very muscular, tall woman. Has a very nice mustache. It kind of comes down handlebar style, and hair's like pretty much just bald, like very clippered. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. As you walk over, she goes, "What are you having?"
I'll take whatever bougie IPA you got on tap.
Looks over, just lets it run.
Yeah, I like that. Dekard, what do you want?
What would you recommend?
Grabs another one, slides it in underneath that one, and just lets it keep running. Takes yours and sets it down in front of you. It looks normal whenever she's handling it, but as soon as she sets it down, it's like twice the size of a normal mug.
I get like anime star eyes. I'm just like,
Yeah, it's like half of a pitcher.
I like this.
Reaches over, turns it off, takes the other one, sets it down in front of Dekard.
I grab both of them.
Hey, you greedy bastard, get over here.
Hand him his half pitcher of amazing heavenly deliciousness that has been given to us. Start sipping it.
As y'all start to take a drink, I haven't seen y'all around here before.
No, we haven't. This is our first time here. We just came here from the Beacon. We had some business that we was working over there. We're some PIs that have got some work. We got this business card dropped off at our door this morning. Nobody was there. Kind of just found it on the floor, and I kind of panned it to them.
They have it at the door.
They have it
don't
at the
it
door.
anymore.
Doorman took it.
Okay. Oh,
Hey, all right, we're looking for the network. Is he around?
yes.
Takes it. Well, she takes a step back and kind of just looks at you for a minute. Leans up on the bar and goes, "Careful with that one." Back room, second door.
Like he's a China doll. We got to be gentle with him, or he's tricksy.
Kind of ignores it and goes back to working.
Hey, what's the name of this place before I wander off too far?
You're in the way station?
Okay, just want to make sure that's what it was.
Follow this person's directions that they had given us and go to the door.
You end up in like a back room. It's very much a private party kind of room. It has its own bar, everything else. You see a very clean shaven, very nice fitted suit. Small guy though. He's like 4 foot flat. With very long, pretty hair, and very Mediterranean kind of complexion, very olive skin tone. Setting behind, it's like a low table that you'd find in a bar or any place like that, but there's just papers everywhere. It's like, looks like he set it up kind of like a desk, and he's just flipping through papers and going through stuff and everything else, and he's just too busy working to notice you come in.
Mr. Wi-Fi, Mr. Network, I'm sorry. Apologize.
Looks up and goes, "Oh, you're here." Takes both hands from both sides of the table, folds the table up, sets it to one side, and goes, "Welcome, come in, sit, join me."
So everyone got
That
shit
was
made
awesome.
by Acme? Everyone's shit's made by Acme. I get it. It's cool.
That is pretty cool. I'm a little jealous. Kind of just blown away because I haven't seen anything done like that yet. I'm like, man, that was cool. Go ahead and have a seat.
As you sit down, he kind of stands up, and you notice as he stands up, his clothes are too big, and they're very nicely made, and they look tailored, but they're still kind of baggy because he's so small. And he reaches out and he shakes both your hands and sets back down. And once he sets back down, he adjusts himself to where it looks like everything fits right. And he goes, "Welcome. Yeah, I'm glad you guys can make it. You are the I dropped it. The PIs from over on 8th Street, aren't you?"
Yeah, URI. That's us. Somebody dropped a card
Perfect.
off at our spot this morning.
Yes. Do you have the card?
No,
Thought I
took
did,
it.
but doorman has it.
Oh, doorman has it. Just a moment. Reaches over, grabs the phone, and be like, "Yes, can you bring me the card, please?" "Okay, thank you." You see the wall kind of open up, almost like a cat door. A little goblin walks across the floor and walks all the way over to him and holds it up and goes, takes it, and the little goblin walks back out of the room.
Hell, this place is infested. Crawling up their damn walls.
Oh, don't mind them. They're just the staff. They just help. Can I get you guys? Never mind. You have drinks. I need you to look into something for me.
What is it? Really? Who are you? And how did you get in contact with us?
Oh, you can call me the network. The mistress at the beacon told me about y'all.
Okay.
Told me that y'all were capable when I was asking for people who could pull this off for me or people who could help. I have a problem. One of my museums is, I've heard that it's going to be hit later this week.
Is there anything special to this museum? Do you guys have any artifacts outside of like the ordinary? Have
you seen the mistress's office?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not unsimilar to that.
But it's a whole building?
No, it's just there's a few pieces in the building that are of that nature.
Okay, so as far as this thing getting hit, what is it that you have any kind of like inkling or idea that they may want to come and take that stands out?
Yes.
Right.
To the right buyer, even somebody who doesn't understand what these things are for, or even something, one of the mundane paintings or something along those lines, it would not be a cheap loss, and it would be very lucrative for somebody to be able to take what they want.
Without going into too much detail, because I don't realistically know how much we're supposed to disclose with, or how much I feel comfortable disclosing due to prior cases. There are certain things in this other establishment that were like magical and stuff like that, yes, but some that were from other entities that were, I'm just gonna say, bad. Is there anything that's going to be in this area that can be used in a malicious way?
And he stops and he sets back and he goes,
That these people may want? That's how we ran into the mistress at the beacon.
And opens his jacket pocket and reaches in, pulls out a pen and goes, with the right influence, with the right station in life, with the right audience, even this can be used for in bad ways.
What is that?
He takes it and he clicks it and he goes,
The pen?
just a pen.
But is it mightier than something else, maybe?
He just kind of tosses it across the room to you.
As it starts flying away, I'll use my magnetism, just kind of grab it and just pull it back to my hand.
Mhm.
And
It's just a
kind of
pen.
look at it. Is
It's
it giving off
fancy,
any, like...
it's nice, but it's just a pen.
She's basically just implying, like, with the right influence, even writing can...
Yeah.
Well, I'm speaking to things otherworldly, extraordinary.
Sure, I mean, but depends on who has it. As does everything.
All right, well, here's a better tact. Why don't you show us the museum, and then we can assess.
Sure, not a problem. He reaches over to where he had folded up the table, and he opens it kind of like a folder or like a file, and reaches in and goes, that one. Pulls it out, and when he pulls it out, it's Mary Poppins kind of long. Unrolls it, and it's a blueprint of the museum.
All right.
He goes, "This is the museum." Gives you the location of it and everything. He says,
I ask him if it's okay, since we're going to be hidden here and we're going to be looking around. It's okay if I take some pictures, so I basically have a map of this place. Do you mind?
"Sure, by all means." Cameras are here and here and here.
Cool. I literally take pictures of my cell phone, and like I kind of just, as he's talking to me, put my hand over my phone and put those points and stuff in the map itself.
Yeah. Shouldn't be in beyond just a couple guards. It's not my museum. It's my collection that's on loan, and
Who owns
I have it on.
this museum? Is it the city? Or is it...
It's a city museum. It's a publicly owned,
Okay.
but it's my collection that's on loan, that's on display right now, and I just would like to be sure that a couple things don't go missing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have a problem going and checking it out. Normally, we're the kind of the investigators that, you know, look for things that are already missing, not like before, right, Dekard? This is kind of weird for us.
I mean, I've done guard details, but they're usually people, not items. Would it be an issue were we to approach the museum directly on your behalf?
I would prefer to remain anonymous in this endeavor.
Could we not just say that we represent the owner of whose collection?
Or
Like,
you
I'm not
wanted-
saying we specifically name you, or
I
do
would
you
prefer to leave that out of the equation.
Okay.
I don't think that'd be a problem.
Ideally, you see, I've had problems with this character before. It's not the first time that she's tried to take things from my collection. I don't figure it will be the last. If you could,
Looks like you're already kind of dipping your toes into the next question I was going to ask. Who is it that you think is going to try to take these things? Which I'd assume you're about to get to.
she goes by Hood.
Hood? Sits there for a minute. I'm like, man, the Hoods are such a good hardcore band.
She's already taken a few things from my belongings. Small trinkets, nothing of any note, nothing of any power, but I would hate it, and the city could be a detriment if she were to take something that was capable.
Is she able to get into the beacon and the way station were she to want?
I'm unsure. She's very talented, though. I'm not sure how she got in last time.
What can you tell us about her? Why would you guys have beef?
Oh, I don't know that it's necessarily with me. It's just
You think she's
collections
just a
of this.
thief?
I believe so. She's been incriminated in everything from jewelry robberies to museum heists to
But all high valuable things.
anything large scale or valuable. There's a chance that she's had her finger in it before, or helped set up the work, or do something along that line.
And to your knowledge, does she just take these things and that she comes across and just sell them to like the highest bidder kind of thing, or is she hired by people to go steal things for them?
Well, so far I have been watching and having a couple of other accomplices keep tabs on the fences that I'm aware of and the ones that they're aware of, and what she's taken before has not come back, or has not been back in the market yet.
What has she taken?
A few old paintings, small jewelry collection, and antique dagger.
An antique dagger.
An antique dagger.
Is it the antique dagger of Ashanti? I want the knife.
No, it's from my early medieval Europe collection.
Is there anything special about it other than it's just fancy?
Kind of pauses for a second and he goes, to my knowledge, no, but the history behind it says that there might be.
It just hasn't really kind of been discovered yet or pinpointed, maybe? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Or hasn't been chosen?
Okay.
What supposedly does it do?
You've heard of Excalibur?
No, not even a little
Yes.
bit.
Okay.
Okay.
It leans over and whispers to Kyle, "Hey, you remember how you said not being a dick all the time?"
Well, I mean, like, I'm sarcastic a little bit. And obviously, we've heard of Excalibur. Like, I mean, it's harmless banter.
Have you heard of the spear?
As in the spear that stabbed Jesus?
The
No, Arthur's
ahead.
spear.
I'm not too familiar with that legend.
Rongominiad.
Okay.
It was his spear. It was part of his gifts from God, as they are referred to. His Excalibur. Sure. Have you heard? The other sword also had a name as well.
Yeah, the singing sword, right?
No, the sword from the Lady of the Lake. It had its own name.
Oh, I've only ever heard it referred to as the singing sword, and then Arthurian legend gets a little fuzzy because like
He
he
had
has
Excalibur,
the
then he
sword.
has another sword.
Yeah, exactly.
and
So it's which is which.
It's
Which
all.
one
It's
got
very
broke?
muddy. He had a dagger as well. And from what we could track, from what we could find, from the references, from the descriptions, she has the dagger now.
Does this dagger have like a name? Like if somebody said it, like, oh, you mean, as opposed to
Carwin Ha.
Carwin Ha?
But in
Little-
Gaelic is all spelled funny.
Little white hilt.
You say Carwin Hall or Ha?
Ha. H-A-U.
See, told you Gaelic's all funny.
It is.
Little hilt.
White hilt.
Little white hilt.
So Dekard and Mr. Network, I mean, maybe you guys can kind of fill me in here a little bit. Other than like just what we've read in the stories about how, and like depending on how you do this, things get really weird because you've got the Disney version where it said it was pulled from a stone, and then you've also got other versions where Excalibur was found in a lake by Arthur when he was out looking around. What exactly was it that this sword did for him?
No, there was two different swords.
Yeah.
There's
So
two
the
swords?
sword and the stone was the first sword Arthur supposedly had,
Okay.
and it might have been the singing sword, but he abused the power of it, broke it, threw it back into the lake. The
Right.
lady gave him Excalibur afterward, and that made him nigh unbeatable. and then the scabbard of Excalibur kept him alive from any wound. I don't remember the spear, but it had some, like, it could pierce any armor or something. The dagger, I don't know about.
So was this singing sword that you're talking about, when it was thrown into the lake, which, like, that's where he got the Excalibur thing, was it changed and became Excalibur? Is it the same sword?
It came
Well,
back
yeah.
changed.
Okay.
That's the thing. Some people argue that it was reforged by the Lady in the Lake, and now it's
Right.
Excalibur. Some people think there were two swords, and it's an entirely different sword. Who
From
knows?
what I have been able to find and from my own research and contacts, there are two different swords.
They
So, oh man. And so that's okay. You told me what the spear did, but what did the swords do?
and the swords made him unstoppable, and the scabbard kept him alive from any wound.
Well, the
Didn't
second
one of them
did.
like give him like some kind of like major power of like influence and stuff, which is like how he started his kingdom and stuff like that?
That was the sword from the stone until he corrupted it.
Okay. Man, Disney, you can
He didn't.
sure can confuse a guy.
From what we can find, he didn't throw it back into the lake either.
Oh,
Wait,
interesting.
what? Even like
was
I knew that much
It was reforged.
by
And-
someone,
into a-
something, somewhere.
Into
a
the
little
dagger.
Dagger. How'd I feel? So does it supposedly retain its influencing beguile effect?
No, it was corrupted by his actions.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of run this stuff through my head real quick.
Mhm.
Sword was pulled from the sword. Sword was pulled from the stone. Sword was thrown into the river.
Wait, no, sword was pulled
Nope.
from. Okay, sword was pulled from the stone.
Right.
Cool, I have a special sword.
Right.
It gives me influence over people.
Right.
Hey, this place is Camelot. This is the new kingdom.
Right. You can
I'm
fast
the
forward
king
to the
of-
water part. I'm
Mhm.
with you.
I start doing bad shit. I get
Sword goes
corrupted.
evil.
The sword goes. Sword breaks.
Okay.
Lore goes. I throw it into the lake and get back a new magic sword. No, I take it to somebody. I have it reforged into a dagger.
Then why is there no mention of him having both at any given time?
Then I go and I
Because
get
he
a
does-
new sword.
So what you're saying is
From a
he had
different tribe.
both in his possession at the same time.
Well, no, he remade the first sword into a dagger. so
Right.
he
Well,
doesn't
but at the end of the day,
have-
that dagger is just the sword, but smaller. That's exactly what a dagger is. It's a short sword.
To an extent, it changed capabilities from the reforging and also from the corruption. It was no longer this all-inspiring, let me join your band of merriment and honor, and it became more of a what you would expect from a
run.
dagger.
Run from the hills. Like it.
Okay. So the dagger. She has the dagger.
The reason it's not mentioned often, there's a couple stories where it is.
That's not mentioned in any of the books that I read growing up.
There's a couple stories that do mention the dagger. There's one where he cut a witch in half with it. But it's supposedly it keeps people from seeing you when you use it.
Like some type of like invisibility or some type of manipulation.
Something along those lines. Lore states a shroud of darkness.
Because of the corruption and stuff, I would assume. Yeah, I'm just gonna level with you dudes, man. Like all I ever have heard of up in this point was just of Excalibur, and I had always heard that there was, like, depending on what is pretending like that singing sword, whatever Dekard's calling it, like either Excalibur was pulled from the stone or it was found in the lake. Those are the only two. I didn't know that there was ever lore behind having two swords, so this is new to
And
me.
a
yeah.
spear.
And a spear,
And a
apparently.
spear.
And a shield. And
The
his
shield,
armor.
yeah.
And his bow. and his
And the
horse,
Yeah, his
and the magic
horse.
scabbard.
and the scabbard,
Weird. Okay.
and his cloak, and his crown.
All right, I get it, dude. This guy was a big deal. I get it. You win.
Regardless, there are two things in my collection that cannot be taken.
Okay.
There are two swords currently on display.
What swords?
Riddle and Hunting.
Oh, that's not good.
Dekard, help a boy out. Don't make me go to the
I don't-
internet.
I don't remember specifics, but Hunting is one of the Norse magic swords, I'm not mistaken. And no, I don't remember particularly. I just know it's not good if it were to fall into wrong hands.
So, quick searching, quick
Yep, it's about to
conversation. Hunting is Beowulf's sword.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
I know
one.
Beowulf.
Riddle was a sword of Regin, which is also Old Norse. Sigurd and all of them. It's part of that storyline. It was used to Riddle was used to rip out Fafnir's heart.
Fafnir's the Twilight Dragon, in case you didn't know that.
The Twilight Dragon?
Yep.
Like with the glowing vampires?
Just reach out, slaps him in the face. Stop
so
it.
yeah, in one story, Regin used it to kill Fafnir. In another story, Sigurd used it to kill Fafnir. So there's a little bit of overlap there. In one.
Okay. So
These items have never shown any significance in recent years, but these are the actual items.
Oh shit, that's not good.
what do these swords, like what other than the lore and stuff behind them and what they've done, what's special about them?
We don't know.
So
They've never-
basically, what you're doing.
From the records that we have, they haven't chosen a champion since the lore, and we're not even sure if the lore is accurate or if it was just stories.
Okay. So long story short, we're going to take this and we're going to summarize it. We're going to take all this conversation where I just had a proverbial info dump thrown at me. We're going to compact it. What you want us to do is you want us to play security guards and make sure your stuff isn't stolen from this museum. Short version.
Oh, there's security guards there.
Then what do you need
Right.
us for?
We're the backup.
If this person shows up, the guards will never know that they were there.
Because they are not like us.
We don't know. We have them on camera. We have the security caught them. The alarm system caught them. Guards never knew they were there. Guards never knew the alarms went off.
The Shroud of Darkness,
Mhm.
I imagine.
What if... trying to think here for a minute. Shrouds of Darkness. What if there was a way to... Well, no, you said they already showed up on the cameras, but this Hood character was just never physically seen in person.
No.
And by
Camera
the
showed them
by-
walking right beside a guard, talking with the guard. Guard has no recollection.
Interesting.
Yeah, by the by, Robin's first name would, or Hood's first name wouldn't happen to be Robin, would it?
Or Drake, or Jason.
I'm unsure.
Alright, well, I guess...
What can you tell us about the last time Hood stole from you? Like, did she come in from the skylight? Did she have a particular signature way she liked to get in?
Walked in through the front door.
All right, fair enough.
Alarms went off. Guard confronted, walked her right to the thing, unlocked the box, and let her walk out the door. Police showed up
Okay.
5 minutes later.
I got you said it's the City Museum? Alright. I got an idea. Oh, you're
It's okay. We have laid some plans for there to be a specific night where there are less guards, less security, in an effort to make this a little bit easier. And from what we have seen before in patterns and everything, it should match up well enough to draw her in. This pulls out a checkbook. Should be enough to compensate for your time and resources. Slides it across the table.
Glancing down, how much is on it?
Like, do you actually pick it up and take a peek?
Absolutely.
$50K.
Yeah. This should be good. This should be good. Maybe we can finally get rid of this. I mean, she's been real reliable, but I'm not saying a new car wouldn't,
Oh,
been
I'm
around.
sorry. This is. I'm afraid didn't have a chance to finish. This is the advance. This is for anything you need for the job. Final payment comes later.
So there's more monies.
What I think my associate is stumbling to say is, we accept and we'll go ahead and if you could forward us to our email, hands them a business card. The particulars on your side, we'll see what we can get worked out.
Takes
Dekard,
it-
I'm gonna get a new computer. I'm gonna paint our office.
Puts it-
And I just start
puts his
going
hand-
off.
Takes the business card and like looks at it, holds it up to the light, and gets like does the flick thing and goes,
It's
well.
not one of them fancy ones, sorry.
like
get
very
this.
much you feel a little bit judged now because of the business card.
As he flicks it and shit, he flicks it. I'm like, look, dude. I'm like, you see the way we're dressed. You see that hunk of junk bucket car we're driving around out there. Obviously, we have some area of opportunity here as far as finances go that we're working on. We're working on it.
Takes it, starts to put it in his pocket and goes, slides it into the table.
How do I feel about being judged? Being, judgment.
How do you feel about being judged?
Being broke.
There's a moment of just like, so that's what it's like on the other side. Well, damn.
Takes a minute and goes, gentlemen, and stands up and sorts some stuff out and kind of does a little pleasure doing business. If something comes up or we learn more information, we will be in touch, and does a little like a half bow, kind of like a little nod, but almost a bow.
Before
and
you
goes,
leave, this is completely off topic.
Sure.
But I would like to say, sir, you're both a gentleman and a scholar, and might I also add, you're very well dressed. And if one were to want to maybe get in touch with your tailor, how would I do that? Because I would kill for a suit like that, my dude.
oh. Reaches over, like essentially the table folded up into like a laptop bag. And he like opens it up and reaches in, pulls out a little card and goes, "Here you go." And he walks out. As he's walking to the door, you
Takes
notice.
it, holds it to the light.
So-
Ooh, fancy.
Hold it up to the light. You can't see through it at all. Like you hold yours up to, like you take one of yours out and you hold them up to the light beside
You
each
can
other. and
see
his
through
is
it. You
like-
see text on the other side.
Yeah, you can see through yours a little bit. You can see both sides of it, kind of, and his is like completely black, almost like a credit card. You take it and you flick it, and it doesn't really flick, like it's hard, like a
Mhm.
plastic card. And yours, you flick it, and it's like almost folds in half.
Told you we
And
should
you
have got
go-
better card stock.
Oh. But as you turn, like as he's walking out and everything, you're kind of watching him walk out, and you turn and look. His clothes start to fit better. He starts to look a little bit taller. By the time he gets to the door, he's like almost an inch and a half taller, or not an inch and a foot and a half taller, 2 feet taller. And As he starts to walk out the door, he kind of turns and grins. It's an entirely different face on the dude as he closes the door behind him.
Oh hell, he's one of the faceless men from that book, that nerd book show that you had me talk and watch about.
Man, I watch and read a lot of nerd book stuff. What are you talking about, D?
The one where he takes the face out, does this. He's looking at the little girl, puts it back on, and he's somebody else. Let's just get the hell out of here. Never mind.
He just kind of like thinks of all the weird stuff that I've asked you if you've seen or read. I'm like, man, so much. But looks at the business card for the tailor, and he's like, Dekard, I'm gonna get me a suit, and I'm gonna be fly. And I put it in my button-down shirt pocket.
So y'all have a blueprint. Y'all have some lore and information on the objects he believes is going to be taken. Essentially, the blueprint shows one wing of the whole museum is his collection that he's put up on loan for display and everything. It's all Norse and Icelandic and Gaelic artifacts and culture remnants and things, everything from pottery to art to tapestries to weapons and armors and shields and things of that nature.
So that actually kind of plays into my thought process for what we're gonna do.
What's your idea? You said you had an idea, but you didn't say it.
Oh, you're gonna get you a fancy suit, and then we're gonna roll my bones in there as part of a new display. I need you to Google up a mythical giant that would have been part of that culture. And then we're going to put me in the museum. And I'm just going to kind of stroll around, but you got to stay there to make sure everything's copacetic for the first 24 hours on the night of the heist. And then you and I are going to go crack some skulls.
I mean, I thought we could have just walked in the door and found somewhere to hide until they closed and then just, surprise!
But see, that way if they find us, they toss us out. Plus I'll be a 7-foot skeleton. Kind of hard to explain. But if I'm a 7-foot skeleton, when you take me in, that's less, troublesome.
So you want me to play this super intelligent, very suave, very...
Nope. I want you to play the dumb agent who's just got to watch the skeleton for 24 hours.
I'm just a hired guard to watch your body?
That's right.
But I could be a rich, fancy, smart guy, and you could be part of my private collection, and I could and I have all this influence on people, then I could get the power, and then once I have the power... I
just simply represent somebody who's found a skeleton of a giant who's loaning it to the exhibit, but there's a superstition that your crazy old boss type person says you have to stay there for 24 hours with the skeleton.
Anyone ever told you really know how to take the wind out of somebody's sails, man?
Yes, I do.
But at least I can go get myself a fancy suit. Pulls out the card, flicks it.
The shiniest suit you want.
Cool. Step 1, we get fly.
Fancy suit. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna hit you with a car.
No, don't do that. Just let me have this moment, man. Dude, real talk, Dekard. I've never worn a suit before, man. I've never had a nice suit.
They're giant pains in the ass. And you're fine. You go get your damn suit.
Cool. I'm gonna pull the card out of my pocket and type in the GPS directions of the tailor.
Hey, real quick, we're gonna go with these are thoughts you have to figure out what style suit you want. It's for business. We're gonna get a business cut, probably Italian fashion, maybe.
Bro, dude. All right, so the first thing that comes to mind, you know who can wear a suit?
If you say leisure suit, I'm gonna slap you.
Oh, Larry? Those games are off the wall and wildly inappropriate. It did not age well.
I just meant like an actual leisure suit.
Oh, no. And then I go through my phone and I pull up an image of Egerton from my god, my brain's not working right now. Of Kingsman. There we go. And I show you one of those suits. This is what I'm going for.
All right, that'd be fine.
Nice and
You mean
slim
like-
fitted, like kind of like
Okay.
a thin tie. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the. I'd imagine Dekard, places like this, you probably need an appointment, right? That's how these places work.
I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss. Like you show up with the business cards, and you're obviously got referred. So
Yeah, I guess let's do that. This is out of my wheelhouse, man.
you also might want to go deposit that check, so we have money to pay for your suit.
I already did. While he was talking to me, I basically do the bank deposits exactly through our phone to our bank account.
You can cash a check with your phone.
Yeah.
What do they do with the check?
I look at Dekard and.
It is a brave new world we live in.
Technology, it's wild. Yeah, I'll put the GPS directions in to go get me a fancy suit. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm grinning from ear to ear. I'm playing I Gotta Stay Fly Till I Die from 3-6 Mafia as we're going over over the radio.
You show up, it's a little hole in the wall, very small shop, but you go in and it's just floor to ceiling, wall after wall after wall of different materials and different drawers of buttons and everything you would need for a suit.
I kind of look around. I'm like, man, this place is awesome, and I'm gonna find the dude that has like the tape measure like around him that's walking around, and say, anybody
He's called
here?
the pay-
Oh, what?
He-
The tailor? Yeah, the
Oh.
tailor. I'm looking for the tailor.
You hear a machine running in the back, stop running, and old man walks out using a cane, very like fully suited up. He doesn't have the jacket on, but vest, tie, slacks, all of it matches. The back of the vest is a different pattern, like it's full suit. Nice leather Italian square toe shoes. Like, dude,
Excuse
he's
me,
got
dude.
his sleeves rolled up to right below the elbows, and he goes, "You looking for somewhere else?"
No. You know, I'm just gonna come out and say it. People are awfully judgy based solely
You're
on
get-
appearance, but
You're getting pretty womaned.
smacks
That's
Dekard and says,
very-
"Don't be sexist."
It's very expensive.
Don't judge
You
people
can't
by their
afford it.
look, man. This is unfortunate and not cool. We were referred to you, and I'm here to get a suit.
Oh, okay.
I hand him the business card.
Takes it. Yeah, that's one of mine. Hands it back to you. Who did the referral?
A friend.
The
Right.
network sent us.
So much for anonymity.
Network. Okay. Gonna help you gentlemen with
Just
My
said
friend
that you're
needs
here
a
for
suit.
your first suit. Okay.
Show him your picture.
By all means, come in. Go ahead. Derobe down to your trousers. Over there, we'll get your measurements. We'll find you some materials. We'll get you set up.
Like,
His demeanor has completely changed, and where it was when he came in, it was not to be rude. Are you lost?
he's being judgmental is exactly what he was doing.
In a more polite way than, but yeah, like
You're out
Wasn't
of your
wanting to come
element.
off-
What are you doing here?
yeah.
Mhm.
And as soon as it was the network, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's get you guys set up.
As I'm walking over to where he pointed, like I'm literally just like taking off my clothes, like walking through the store, and basically I just stand over there in my underwear.
As you are walking the other way, he goes walking up to the front, pulls the blinds over, pulls the curtain down on the door, locks the door. As he sees you walking and derobing and kind of just leaving a trail, he just on the wall. A couple little goblins come out and start taking your clothes off into the wall and disappearing with them.
Whoa.
Hey, Kyle, remind me I gotta try something when we get back to the office. See if they come out and clean up the fucking place when I don't have to do it anymore. You
'Kay.
slob.
Dude, I'm pretty
Now,
clean.
what kind of have you ever owned a suit before?
No, man, that's why this is really exciting to me. I've never
Okay,
had the opportunity to wear one.
He goes to one of the mirrors, opens it up off the wall, and pulls out a rack that has like 4 different mannequins on it. He goes, "We have this style and this style," and doesn't even give them names. He's like, "These are some of the styles. If you like any of these, go ahead. You pick out a couple that you like."
I kind
Slides
of
it back
like
in.
point my hand up, like I'm not trying to interrupt, but I kind of already have an idea. So I'll pull out my phone and I'll show him kind of like the suit that he was wearing, something kind of like this, with like the white collar, like a little bit of pinstriping, kind of slim fitted.
He takes your phone,
Cufflinks.
like he just grabs your phone out of your hand and goes, and holds it up to you and goes, "Won't work with your body."
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
They said you're fat. Too many fucking Pop-Tarts.
He says, "Shoulders are more narrow. Still, you have the same kind of shape, but your shoulders are more narrow. Your legs are longer. You have less of a torso. One of these 4 would work better for your body type."
Particular body type and build. Don't argue with the expert. Pick one of the damn suits.
Can we ask this asshole that I came in here to leave the store while I'm shopping? Or maybe you just pipe down from it and let me handle mines? Looks back over at the tailor. I'm gonna put my life in your hands, sir. I'm gonna trust you. This is your area of expertise. Just make me look good.
I make eye contact with the tailor and I just go,
Goes over to the rack that he pulled out of the wall, kind of grabs one of the mannequins and slides it up towards you. Like kind of, you're on essentially a dais that can turn. So it's a little pedal with his foot and it starts turning. He's turning the mannequin at the same time and he stops it and he's like, "Okay," puts it up and grabs a different one and slides it up next to it and does the same thing. And he's like, "This one will be better." Takes it and he's like, "Okay," so he kind of just walks you through. Okay, the lapels are, this is how big the lapels are. This is kind of how the vest is going to look. This is how the tie is going to look. It's a very thin tie. Just runs over everything. He's like, "Is there anything you want to change? Do you want more pockets? Do you want less pockets? Do you want no pockets on the outside, just pockets on the inside? How many pockets do you want?" Like, he just runs you through this like giant list of stuff.
I do have a question. Do you do tactical linings just in case?
Sir, I'm afraid you've watched too many movies.
I didn't know that was an option. That's why I was asking. Didn't know if that was really a thing.
I don't think I'll need any tactical lining. I'm not too worried about that.
We do have an option. Kind of looks at both of you and goes, "We do." It's like you were referred to by the network. We do have an option for built-in, like a sewn-in holster as well.
He'll take one of those.
I don't really. I guess I don't need one, but if I'm trying to put on the persona.
A moment.
Exactly.
He walks back to the back room, comes back with a different jacket that's cut the same way as one of the ones on the mannequin, takes the one off the mannequin that he's working on for you, puts this other jacket on it, reaches behind him into his back pocket and pulls out a pretty reasonable, pretty standard size.
But it looks like he
fire.
just reached into his back pocket.
Yeah, sidearm. Like opens up it, you see the built-in holster and everything, slides it in and puts it back on the mannequin. He's like, "Can't feel it, can't see it."
I mean, sure, I guess. I don't really use firearms, but I'm gonna need this for what we're trying to do.
You're gonna have mine for that night anyway.
I've
so you
got
might
one.
well-
I still got my issued one that I got when I left the bureau that they let me keep. But I mean, that's fine. Sure, yeah. What will this take to get it ready? Like, I don't know, now.
And kind of looks at you and goes, "Now?"
Yeah.
This will take at least a week.
That's not gonna work. We're on the job for somebody, and we need this done ASAP.
A rental. Understood. Slides the mannequins back.
As soon as he
closes
says
the frame,
rental, I just cross my arms and say, shit.
walks back up to the front of the area. He knocks on the counter, and you see a little goblin kind of like peek its head out, and he goes, "Need to close back." He goes. And
He says,
goblin freaks out.
hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Kind of thinking for a minute, and because I don't know the process, how do you go about making these? Or like, is this tailored? Is it all done by hand, or do you use machines?
Hmm.
So all of the above, yes.
Everything
No,
you see is what I've made.
Handcrafted.
Trying to think.
Now
The
the rental
gentleman-
ones that we do have, I can have it done by the end of the night. I'll take it. I'll work
The
on it tonight.
gentleman would like the rental, but he would also like the actual suit. So if we could, both.
Yeah, both, I guess.
Sure.
You said you want a damn suit, so get
I
your
know.
damn suit.
Well, I was thinking,
Okay.
Dekard, like I don't know how this stuff's made, dude. I'm out of my element here. Yes, you were right, but you shouldn't be judgmental. Looks at him.
Sure, that'll be fine. Goes and grabs essentially a binder, right? It's full of different papers and styles and different buttons and everything else. And it, like on the front of it, it says description. It gives the mannequin number, the suit cut, the type, the sizing, all of that. And he's like, this will have everything as far as your selection process goes, all the different cuts we do, all the different pocket styles we do, every option that we have will be in here. There's a sheet in the front. Fill out the sheet, let us know what material, what type, all that stuff. Even if there's a few different ones you want to test out, let us know. When you bring the rental back, we'll have it all laid out, we'll have it all ready, and we can just run through it all. And then
I'm just gonna go through and basically pull the parts out together that are the closest resembling to the
The King's
actual
suit.
to the Kingsman suits I can find.
yeah, that's fine. He's like, now on the rental, he takes you and he has a reasonable, like 10 different rental styles and everything. He's like, I'll take one of these, I'll have it tailored in an hour, you can come pick it up, and then you can use it. It's this much a day and gives you a price that's within reason.
Okay, so you said about an hour.
About an hour I can have one done.
Okay. I guess I'll go have a beer, a coffee, or something in the meantime.
Sure. So you pick out
Um,
which one you want.
Mhm.
He says, okay, great, that'll be great. Takes it off the shelf and goes to start working on it.
Real quick, before you get too far off, do you do shoes as well, or does he have to acquire shoes?
Oh, we have a great shoe selection. End of the hall, it'll be on the left side. You can't see from here because of all the material.
Okay, and like, do you do the full like top to bottom accoutrement, shoes, belts?
Mhm.
We're
All
doing
the
this. You might as well
accessories and
get all
everything.
these.
Well, I
All
thought,
the accessories and everything you need are down by the shoes.
All right.
okay. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. I guess I thought that's what was going on here. I thought that was all part of the whole shebang.
No, this was just picking the suit so far. You got your cut material, your
Your button
lining,
selection, how
your
many buttons, how you want 100%. So I watch suit makers. How you want your buttons stitched on.
Looks at Dekard and says, "Man, being rich is hard."
How you want your pockets stitched on, whether you want pocket flaps or no flaps, or
Do
you want
your
it to be an
pants
invisible
pleated?
pocket.
Do you want
you
your
want
pants
pleats?
pleated, not pleated?
Bruh, suits are
Tapered?
so freaking cool.
Can we
Like,
just
if
go
I
to the
had it-
men's warehouse, man? This is a little too much for me.
Nope. You
100%.
open the damn door. We're going through.
100%. If I had it, I could easily spend like 10K on a suit and not feel bad about it.
So anyway, we get him all squared away with like a full everything that matches with the future suit, and then we go get coffee.
Y'all go do your thing. You come back and pick up the suit in about an hour. Everything's ready. And you give him the list and the details and everything. It's just cool. He has a couple of things where he's like, I know why you want it that way. I'll show you what it looks like that way, but I'll also show you what it looks like this other way, because I think this other way will work better for you.
I'm just gonna trust you, man. Let's not even worry about what I want. Just take what
No.
I wanted, make it better.
They'll both look fine. They'll both be similar, but I think this one will once you see it, you'll be more inclined to do that way, kind of thing.
I'll try them on. I'll try everything on.
But he's like, yeah, give me like a week and we'll have this one ready for you. Now, is it just one? Are you wanting a few of these in different colors and variations? Are you just same style but different, same style and patterns and everything, just different colors, or is this just a single suit?
Well, I'm just gonna be frank with you. I don't know, because first I need to kind of see the receipt about how much the first one's gonna cost.
Shoes included?
Yeah, a whole shebang.
Whole shebang. I think it's tricky. You know what? We'll be generous with it. We'll do some of our standard cut links. I won't do any of the over the top stuff. Kind of writes down a number on a piece of paper and slides it over to you and goes, it'll be about this much.
Like, do the, like, pick it up, look at it. What does it say? Put it down.
6.5.
I nod. And that's all I do is I just nod.
Okay, I'll get started.
All right. So does that mean the rental's ready and I'm just waiting on my own personal one?
Yeah.
At this point? Cool.
You have the rental.
So I'm looking at the mirror. I'm looking a little disheveled, looking kind of rugged. Do a search real quick on my phone. Where's a place where I could like go get a haircut and stuff?
It's a couple blocks down.
I like Dekard. I'm looking a little rough around the edges. If I'm gonna look fancy, I'm gonna go get a haircut real quick.
I mean, I tell you look like shit all the time. What changed your mind now?
As he starts muttering and being an asshole, I just walk away.
Rest of the afternoon is pretty mundane. You spend time getting all of the accoutrement that you need to be able to presume this identity and go in and do whatever it is you plan to do with the museum. The target day is in like 3 days.
Okay. So we got some planning time. Or about 2. So, Dekard. All right, so I like the idea. How are we going to pull off... Or wait, do you know anybody inside the... It might be like a warehouse. How are we going to get them to okay us to place this artifact that's you in here? Or in there?
Simple. We're just going to say it's a recent acquisition to the current collection that's on display, and your boss wanted to make sure that was put, but he'd heard that there was a curse and somebody needed to watch it for 24 hours.
So do we want to bullshit our way in, or do you have a way to make this a thing?
I mean, that's what you're going to Google.
How is me looking up how to do it going to help us?
No, you're going to Google, try and find something that best fits that scenario. And then, we're just going to... If you have to make a website or so, that's on you.
He wants you to find or
I know it is. I have to basically go through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely within my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Even if it's, I edited a Wikipedia page for however many days and printed it off, and here you go. And yeah.
But we're going to need some type of almost like work order or some kind of document that says it needs to be placed there. It needs to say how long it's going to be there. It's going to need to say who or what it belongs to. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to doctor up and bullshit an entire thing. I'll create a website. I'll even create like a Facebook page and whatever I got to do for me that says I work for this extravagant person and blah, blah, blah. And just craft this whole persona and identity of this thing that I'm going to be working for. And also go on Amazon and have a big ass crate overnighted to us so I can stuff his ass in.
Don't forget the packing peanuts. We wouldn't want me to shift during delivery.
I'm like, oh, I got your packing peanuts, and here's me type on the keyboard. It's not packing peanuts. It's that nasty hay stuff.
And the wire armature stand thing to support him and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going through, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull all that stuff out, and I'm just gonna make it happen.
Having to buy domains, having to order this specialty shipping goods and all that kind of stuff and making it look legit and covering up your trail and all this other stuff, having it overnighted or next date and everything else, it total would probably run about 25K.
What if I want to not pay and make it because I have the power to do so?
I mean, you're welcome to try.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a move, bruh.
I mean, you're welcome to try.
Your boy's trying to make a move. Worst case, I pay.
Worst case.
I mean, worst case, it doesn't work at all, and we come up with a new plan, actually.
That's not worst case.
Well, let's find out what worst case can be. I guess this would be a change the game, yeah?
Yeah, I'll give it a change the game.
Changing the juego. All right, here we go.
That makes sense. You're making tags. You're doing
Yeah,
stuff.
dude, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Alrighty, Brew.
Just drawing a simple plan. You know, whatever.
I mean, I could pay, but then I can't roll my dice.
You could try and get a discount. You could use the U version.
I could
of
use
honey.
a promo code.
You could try and craft your own.
I'm invoking your weakness here.
The obsession? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think this is a
Because
good
you're
one for
so much into the no, I can do this. I can do
it.
this.
Yeah. I'm
That
down,
your character
I'm
is
down.
obsessively doing this thing and
I'm down.
being like, no, I got this. Don't worry. We can keep the money, man. I got this.
I'm down. All right, so
In fact, I'm invoking 2 weaknesses here.
I don't have two. I only have the one that falls under it. Can only be applied once.
No, you got 2. Because you broke.
Oh no, because I got the get. No, I can take 2 because I got overly confident and I can do the get it done. I can.
In that case, it's 3.
So it's a flat roll.
Because you're obsessed, you're overly confident, and you're broke, and it's all having influence on this.
Dude, I'm gonna. If I win this, I'm gonna get so much attention. Okay.
One for
You'd have
each.
One for
So
each would
much
be total of 3.
use.
Yeah, but it's just 1 for each. So,
Oh man, part of me almost.
So
Man,
It's
that's too late.
100%.
I'm going for it. Here we go.
Because you're obsessively doing this thing because you're
I know I can get
overconfident.
it done. I'm obsessed
But
with
the
getting
only-
it done, and I'm poor.
But the only reason you even want to do it is because you want the money because you're broke.
Yeah. Here we go.
1s.
That's a 7.
That's a 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
that's
3
that's
minus
hit.
3, so it's a flat roll of 7.
That's a hit. What would you call that?
All right, so let me read my.
So we're gonna make a story tag.
Okay.
Because that's what all this is setting up to do, is to make story tags that where it's like we have this.
It's pretty
plan
much
and
like
this-
story tag, rich man persona bodyguard thing.
Yeah, what are assumed persona and,
yeah,
and
sounds good.
or what would it be called? Because it's the plan, but it's the
Assumed persona?
Essentially your story tag is the plan. Like the plans come to fruit.
The
you
plan?
have the
Yeah, I'll just go with the plan. That works.
means.
That works.
Ooh, hey, when you're done being all crazy and typey up on the keyboard, I got an idea.
At this
Alright.
point, it's the next day. He's been up all night. He's
I'm just like, oh, haggard.
he's got like 3 energy drinks beside him that are all empty and a single beer.
I haven't eaten.
No, there's a plate that has like a sandwich that has 2 bites out of it and a stack of chips, and there's like, yeah, there's 2 bites out of the sandwich, and it's all that's been touched. And you walk in and he goes, "I think I got it all. You need to look at this." And he grabs
Alright,
the
so
sandwich and
I'm
starts
gaining-
eating.
So how did we want to work that? So my story tag, okay. So my juice is just gonna have to be applied towards like my computer stuff. That's fine. I can do that. Juice.
Oh, it would have spent all of it, yeah.
But the
Because you needed the crate, you needed the lore for it, you needed the persona and all
juice
of that
plus power,
stuff.
it would be. So does the juice not? Here's an interesting one. Does the juice not work given the fact that we're using the weaknesses on here ×3, or am I still gaining the 3 juice because of the hit? How do you want to handle this? Because I still use 3 power tags technically, but I'm losing 3 because of the weakness, so it'd still be 3, right?
I would say it's still 3, but you're
Okay.
like all 3 of them make their own individual story tags, which is essentially we just rolled it all into one.
Into the plan? Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, because you needed 3 things for the plan. You needed the crate and his stuff. You needed
The website,
your
the
persona
domain,
stuff, and then you
yeah.
needed the lore stuff to be generated if you could, or you needed time to find the lore and tie all this into.
All right, so there's a story tag and the plan. Cool. How do we want to work as that story tag goes as far as the bonuses it's going to give me? Just want me to add it to like a convince kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Each one of them adds to your convince.
So +3 to convince essentially. Okay.
Because you're rolling up with this crate being delivered and with all this stuff, and it's like, who's going to tell you no whenever it's like, what? And you're like, here's the paperwork for the lore, here's the paperwork from my boss, here's my card, here's this. We need this thing in there now because this is supposed to be shown today. Who are you? Where's your manager? Like,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Look at this. We're making things happen. Just to make things clear for anybody that's listening and that's watching, what we're basically doing, instead of going through, like he's saying, and having individual things for all this, since it's all part of this elaborate basic hoax pretty much at this point.
Yep.
We're just basically saying that it's going to give me a +3 to any status check that I'm doing towards manipulating people and talking to them and showing them things.
Okay.
So, or actually, this would be a +3 to subversion, because this is a bullshit lie. But same.
I mean, we were told to do this on behalf of the boss, so it's not.
He is technically your boss.
Yeah.
He is technically a giant skeleton.
Do you want to go with convince?
No, I want you to flip a coin.
Okay.
Heads, you found the lore.
Okay.
For a giant man who was in Norse mythology and history and would be part of this collection. Tails, you made some shit up.
Okay. All right.
To save some time.
I don't want to roll a dice. I'll actually just
No, flip a coin. Do you need a coin? I have a coin.
I'm literally just gonna flip it on Google.
Ooh, bad move. No. We're doing this legit.
You want to do the real? All right. All right. I'm coming over to your camera. You got a coin?
Hi. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for everyone to come back. I guess we'll take a moment and go with Dekard's log. I find myself an emotional tempest as the thoughts of my dead/returned wife, Carla, who has no wants to be around me, continue to plague me. And now I'm torn being a giant skeleton who I have to convince the crazy cow to write a bit that says I should be holding both Hrunting and Riddle.
I have a coin now.
Alright. Well, I was riffing. We were doing
what am I
Dekard's
flipping there, Mr.
log.
MC?
Heads, you found the lore. Tails, you created some
I made
bullshit.
it up. Okay. Heads, I found. Tails, I made it up. Heads, I find.
Go
Heads you
thank the well-endowed giant.
So 100%. That coin flip, had it been tails, it'd have been subversion. Since it was heads, you found some lore. Everything adds to convince now.
Okay, sounds good.
But when you're done typing up this letter that says he wants Hrunting and Riddle displayed in the giant's hands, you're gonna go take a shower and take a nap.
No, I'm fine, man. Everything's fine. Like, I got everything done, dude. We're good to go. I'm ready to go.
And it's like
I'm
20 minutes of him just being fucking wired, and then he starts to crash. You see him go from to.
You know, Ted Bull may give you wings, but you don't fly because of them. It's the cracked out nature with which your body hair is vibrating. You're just kind of generating your own lift.
So from there, unless there's something specific that y'all want to do before everything kicks off, we will skip forward to that day at the museum?
While Kyle's all cracked out and finally crashes and goes to sleep, and it's relatively quiet, I want to call the beacon. I want to call Carla's old phone. See if
Okay.
she actually got the number back.
You call the old phone number. It rings. It rings. It rings. You hear this click. Hi, this is Carla. I'm unavailable right now. Just leave me your name and number and a message, and I'll call you back as soon as I can. Thanks.
I don't know if you're actually going to get this message or not, but it was nice to see you again. And
If you were satisfied with your call,
Would you
He
like to hear a
hits the-
message? Press
can't-
one.
he hit-
press 1 now. If you would like to listen to your message, press 2. If you would like to continue recording your message, please press 4.
whatever button like cancels the message and hangs up.
Oh, okay. That would have been number 3. I skipped that one. I don't know why.
Yeah.
1, 2, 4.
Yeah, because number 3 is if you would like to delete and
Delete your message.
record your message, press 3. Yeah.
He just hangs up, deletes and hangs up.
All right.
Okay. We'll take a little break, little bio and snack break, and then when we come back, we'll pick up at the museum for the shenanigans.
Good to me.
Good shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Shenanigans.
Cool. So yeah, let's pick up at the museum.
You son of a bitch. You said they were packing penises out. Hay stuff that's all itchy, you motherfucker.
You're just bones anyway, man. Why does it even matter?
Do
What time is
bones
it?
itch?
I don't think so.
I haven't changed yet, you son of a bitch. I'm just
Oh.
back here
So
naked.
it's the day before when they said that Hood would hit the museum. It's probably around late afternoon, early afternoon, probably like 3 to 5 p.m.
See, still human. Just itchy as fuck now.
About what time usually start changing?
Sundown.
About an hour.
Yeah.
You got
mean you,
snacks? You want some snacks?
Oh
before we
no,
load you up?
I'm not worried about that. But you got a slow rope to open and because it popped this bad boy open and there's a naked man just standing there. It's gonna be weird.
I mean, we can just wait until like you're good to go.
Well, I kind of want to get on site rather than just like, make sure they cross the I's and dot the T's.
Well, how about this? Why don't we let's sit here and I book like a pickup truck rental, and on my phone, I'll go grab it and bring it back, and why don't we just leave here about 5:30? So by the time we get there and I bullshit our way into making this a thing, should be good to go at that point.
Sure, why not?
Cool.
I do, however, you got your gun, right?
Yeah. Drawer.
Okay, cool. And here's mine. Just in case.
I don't even need this stuff, man. Like and puts it in his
It
bag.
will help with mundane problems.
He
Plus
he kind of like reaches in his belt and kind of pulls out two kind of like knives and just kind of starts spinning around. It's like, there's so much better for me.
But you have to be close to them, use them effectively.
No, I don't.
Felicia talks real loud and they stop from over there.
Are you feeling okay?
My gun's name is Felicia.
Oh, mine was Ruger.
Bathsheba, I know, that's weird.
Mine was Glock. That's all I ever called it, was Glock. But that's fine. All right, yeah, fine. I will.
Because you're not a sentimental person, you know that. You're very cold and impersonal sometimes.
I mean, I was the tech guy, man. I mean, like, I didn't really have to go out in the field and worry about shooting people. Dude, I've never
Well,
killed
look.
anyone.
Well, not for the FBI.
I hadn't really killed anybody yet, to my knowledge, in this. Oh, man. It kind of sits there for a minute, because, like, he's legit telling the truth. He's never been in a situation where he's had to take anybody's life or anything like that. So he's like, that's why I don't like these things. But all right, man, it's fine.
Yes, but not liking them and having them is a whole lot better than not liking them and being dead because you didn't have it. Now, you treat Felicia like a lady. She's very delicate. And she gets real angry. You squeeze her the wrong way.
Realizes he's talking about his gun again, shakes his head, and just like, all right, whatever. Puts it in the back
But
holster
some
again.
guys name their car, some guys name their guns.
I'm
some
not
guys
judging.
name
I just don't
everything.
understand. And like I appreciate you for having sentimental value for your property and your things. I can understand and I can appreciate that. Now, can we please go?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well this stuff's going to feel on the old industrial area, if you know what I mean.
Talking about your twigs and berries?
Yes, that would be what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
All right, well, get in the car. I look around, make sure nobody's kind of like looking or anything like that. He says, "Who needs guns when you can do this?" Basically, I'll just kind of like just lift the crate up, put it in the car with just my abilities, as it were. And then as I set it down, I'll set it down and I'll shake it.
How many guys you got out there help you load this damn thing? It's
Oh
shaking
man,
my
sorry,
balls off.
Bob over here. He slipped. That's his bad. Sorry about that. It slipped out of my hands there. Probably won't happen again.
Hey, Kyle, your eyes brown? I
Because
feel
I'm
like
full of
you-
shit.
Yeah, that's the one.
More or less. More or less. All right, let's go. And then I'll start heading off to the
Museum.
museum.
There you go.
All right. You get to the museum. It is just after dark. It's probably like 8:30 or so. You back the truck up toward the loading bay at the back side of the museum.
When you get out, you hear Dekard humming to himself. He's just humming different Rammstein songs because he's bored. You know, I hope when I actually die and I get put in a wood box, I
Not that
don't.
one.
Yeah, I hope when I'm, I don't actually have to sit here. It'd be boring as fuck.
Just put it on the other museum one. The
Okay.
outside museum one. Yeah, not that one. That one might be used later.
Oh, you're talking about the art gallery.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. You pull the truck up. You kind of sit there hop out and walk to the back, and you sit in there for a minute, and you notice that the bay doors are down. The back door is locked and closed and everything. You're sitting there for a while waiting. Eventually, you hear a little intercom next to the door go. Can we help you?
Hello. I'm scheduled to drop off and kind of watch over this this crate I got here. You guys should have a notification that says we are stopping by. I'm here to drop it off and watch it.
Send one.
Sure.
Tell him you got the world's biggest boner in the box. Let him in.
Like, check your computer system, and then I'll just do it.
Did you hit send on that email, you son of a bitch?
Totally.
Okay, yeah. We'll have somebody out in just a minute. It's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and a security guard walks out and goes, "Yeah, we got the manifest here." It's kind of an odd time for a manifest to be coming in. Also really short turnaround. Usually these show up like a month before we're supposed to receive anything.
Yeah, this whole thing was on a whim, man. The person I'm working for is very, I would go as far as say anal retentive about making things happen on a whim. Kind of paranoid, honestly, a little bit. They don't like a lot of people knowing what things are going on. They kind of want to do things on a whim. Keeps it more like what's I'm looking for here? Like a
A control
surprise.
freak.
How was that? I don't know. Must be hearing things. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the paperwork, it's all there. My name's on there, and I'm here. I'm just basically watching over it.
All right, hang on. Takes the paperwork, clips it on his clipboard, and starts flipping through it, looking at stuff. Only one package.
Just the one.
Looks at the truck. Okay. All right, hang on. Let me go make a call. Walks inside, close the door. You hear him lock the door behind him. He's gone for a little while. Off separately, he goes and he calls the network. And network picks up and goes, "Hello, yes. We have a package here at the art gallery. Says the manifest says that it was recently acquired, wanted it to be added to the collection. It goes over everything. Just wanted to verify with you and whatnot before we go ahead and allow this into your collection. Just wanted to verify with the owner. Yeah, that'd be fine. Okay, thanks. Click, click. It's like 5 minutes. He comes back out and he goes, "Okay, yep. Go ahead and pop it open, get it ready. I'll open the door. I'll have somebody hop on the forklift and we'll get that thing in."
Okie dokie. Go
So,
ahead. and wait
Is the
for
guy
it.
still there, or did he leave?
yeah, he's still there. He left to go get the door open and get somebody else to help and everything.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
Knock. Hey, Kyle. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's fuck with these guys a little bit. Stand me up on the dock by yourself. Do it real quick.
Like the box or what?
Yeah. Just fuck with them a little bit.
Looks around. Is there cameras or anything?
Yeah. There's a dock bay camera.
I'll just basically shimmy the crate onto.
Well, right now, the box truck is not tall enough, so it's actually laid down. He's on his back or on his stomach, whichever way you wanted
Okay.
to put him. But
Well, in
right
that
now,
case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look around. I'm going to see all the cameras, and I'm just going to literally just temporarily, I want to shut them down so I can just put the crate on the dock so we can mess with them.
okay.
I can roll for it if you want me to.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you get the crate and everything. Like you get it stood up on the lift for the back of the truck. Then you have the lift, like you back it up to where the lift for the back of the lift plate for the back of the truck is up against the dock. But then you have it before they get the door open. You have him standing up on the edge of it.
Cool.
They open it up with the forklift and they're like, and they look at it and they look at the truck and they look at you and they look at it and they look at the truck and they look at you and they go, how
Like
did
I said, man, this is some weird shit. Like, they think this thing's cursed, dude. It moves on its own, I swear.
cool? And they like just pull the forklift up and go sink and pull him inside. Once they have him inside, they shut everything up. They invite you in. They unpack him.
I text Dekard. I'm like, dude, shake around a little bit.
They unpack him. They unpack the armature. They start pulling him out piece by piece and everything. They get him assembled on the armature and whatnot, and it's.
When nobody looks, I turn my head in a different direction.
And he does this a few times. Like every time they get him set one way, like he'll move a finger or move his hand off in a different spot of the box and whatnot. And they're like, "I swear, I just set that. Why is that doing back in the box?" And just over and over. Eventually, they get him set up, get him in a case, grab the other two objects and put them in his hands and everything, and have him standing there, kind of cross-armed with the two objects. In a case, wheel him out into the display area, the big centerpiece of the display now.
Cool. Yeah. You guys got a chair or something that I can get? I can sit down here, maybe coffee or something. I'm gonna be here a while.
You're welcome to sit here if you want to. You can also just sit in the camera room if you want.
Yeah. How far is the camera room from here in case some shit goes down? I gotta get out here.
Yeah, just come with us, and then kind of walks you from there to the camera room. It's like a 7-minute walk. Big museum, but you can see that display, all the different wings. There's like 4 cameras in each wing, and it's like a giant wall of just cameras.
Yeah, this will work.
In the interim, I put both sword points down and my hands are resting on their pommels.
essentially every time you look at the camera, he's standing a little bit differently. Like sometimes he's like this, sometimes he's like this, sometimes he has them resting. Something like it's always a little bit different.
I think
The
I'm
guards are
stand
talking to you, kind of showing you the different camera controls and everything. Whatnot. If you ever want to check this, if you ever need to move a camera, this button is how you get to that specific camera. This is the controls, yada yada yada. It's going to be pretty much a skeleton crew tonight. Had a couple people have to ask off, different illnesses and whatnot. It's just going to be you and another guard who's going to be watching the door. If they're not on the door, they're going to be in here. If you need anything, just let them know.
Really? Just one guard in this music? I mean, all right, cool. All right, it should be
The
fine.
police department's literally 5 minutes away.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, it should be fine.
And the security system is. We just had it upgraded last year.
Of course you did.
Because if we're gonna get cliche, let's just go full.
Yeah. There's no flaws in this system.
Oh no, not at all. It's brand new.
Yeah, it's only 6 months old.
Exactly.
It's a brand new system. It's great. Brink just installed it.
It does have one quirk. You didn't say the magic word.
Sit there and kind of sit there. And just kind of wait until like it kind of calms down a little bit. And then I'm just going to grab a chair and then I'm just going to go sit out, pull my phone and start reading stuff. I don't want to be that far away from him. Before the guy leaves, I'm like, hey, are you okay with me having access to your guys' system if I want to monitor the system while I'm out and about? I got a little tablet here that I can do that with if you guys are cool with that.
Kind of stops for a minute and goes,
I'm on the job, dude.
I'm not sure. Hang on a minute. He reaches in his pocket, pulls out his phone, he calls. It's like, yeah, man, sorry. I know just get to having dinner and just wrapping up dinner and everything. I just had to ask. Had some the paperwork that you saw earlier. Yeah, that guy. Can we hook him into the system for his tablet? Okay, yeah, great. Cool. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll hook you in. He said that we can change the stuff around tomorrow to where
While he's talking, he's muttering, all right, great, cool, I'm in, thanks. That's literally how I do it.
he goes, oh, okay.
I was like, oh, great security. That's the last thing he hears.
While I'm standing here, I want to, if I can, investigate to see where it looks like somebody might break in.
From where you're standing,
Mhm.
so you are in the middle of a giant room. The only other thing in the room with you are paintings on the walls. There's probably 15 to 20 feet between any side of your display and another wall. Outside of that is completely open. There's one way in, one way out. Essentially,
no men leave.
The big grand display is at the end of the wing. That way they have to walk past everything else to get there, and they can have people hang out longer and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
As I'm kind of just wandering around, just kind of getting to know the layout of the place, kind of looking at the map that I got on myself that I would have sent me, looking at the phone, looking at the tablet and stuff, just kind of getting a figure of exactly where cameras are, trying to find any type of entry point / access points to see ways in, ways out.
Yeah. As far as you can, from looking at that, so cameras are on every door. Cameras are on every. There is no blind spots beyond the bathroom doors.
Mm-hmm.
They're far enough away from the entry points that there is no way to get from an entry point to a bathroom without having to be inside of a camera for 30 seconds at most.
Cool.
Or at minimum, right? Like if you're running, you're still going to be in camera for 30 seconds. Between each room, kind of walking around looking, between each room, there is a gate that can be deployed. Every display, and they showed you whenever they were setting his up, every display has a brake sensor on it for the glass displays.
Mhm.
And then every artifact is tagged with essentially a electronic tag that once it tries to go out a door or through a door, if the tag is not disabled, it sets off the alarms too. Like, essentially, there is no way to get something out of here without it either being seen, having the system go off, or it being trackable.
Kind of sitting there, I was like, makes sense why this person realistically, this hood thing, would pretty much just walk in the front door and walk out. But even with the alarms and stuff going off. Interesting, very interesting. Just meander on over to the display where Dekard's at in our boy networks area.
Looking at Dekard, looks like he's taking the armature that's supposed to be supporting him, and he's using it kind of like a backrest, and he's kind of leaning on it and getting kind of slouchy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still holding relatively presumed appearance.
Look around. How many cameras are in this room?
So there's 6 cameras in the room. You have one from behind him looking at the entrance, one from in front of him looking at him from that side, and then one pointed at each wall.
So literally, it's like everything's kind of just like.
You have 2 on him directly, and then one for each wall displays.
All right, yeah, that seems pretty standard, pretty good. I mean, at the end of the day,
it's pretty standard. Like, every room's set up that way. If there's a camera on each display, and then a camera on the full wall, and then a camera on each entrance.
Not bad. But again, I kind of like walk over, kind of like where Dekard's at, kind of just like walking around, kind of checking him out, but talking to him, at him. It's like not bad.
Talking to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like my tablet kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was like, not bad. I was like, but at the end of the day, kind of shifts the perspective. It's like, still just electronics, man. Still just a security system.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, definitely flaws.
Since you 2 have had access to them and been in close proximity, 100% the 2 swords he's holding are some kind of touched thing of some nature. Like, they have some kind of energy. Yeah, you can sense it. It's kind of hair on the back of your neck kind of sense kind of thing coming off of them. Can't tell what it is. Like, whenever you're holding them, you don't feel anything coming from them. It's just one of those, there's something about them that makes you go,
there's something special about these.
Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not activating, they're not doing anything like that.
So
go ahead.
I was gonna say, what do you think next time a guy walks by? It's an interactive. Thengol the Well Endowed was for.
Well, I'm sitting there. I'm kind of like thinking around. Do these cameras pick up audio or strictly video?
Probably strictly video.
Okay. I kind of kneel down.
Too, with it being a museum, there wouldn't be much need for audio most days.
Okay, so kind of like kneeling down, like I was like, that would be super funny, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. But there's literally only 3 people on the premises. Well, 2 and a big bag of bones, if you want to be technical.
Plus, once people start coming through again, he will be a bag of bones, or he won't be a bag of bones anymore.
Yeah, by the by, that the exit strategy, should this go tits up, is going to be a little bit dicey.
We could just run.
No, yeah, but I'll be running naked.
Well, tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it's about 10 o'clock. You hear the security guard coming through, kind of just making rounds. He kind of looks down at you in the room, and he kind of, hey, and keeps walking and everything.
So, dude.
It's probably like 10, 15 minutes later, he comes back the other way. Hey, again, keeps going the other way. Goes back to where he was.
Man, this is boring.
You thought our job was boring. Another hour goes by, or another hour and a half goes by. He kind of does the same thing and walks through. Hey, walks back. Hey.
In the 10 minutes he's gone, I like, you stand up here for a minute and I'll sit down.
You want me to stand there and be you?
When he
Yeah,
walks
perfect.
back through, he kind of, whenever he looks and waves and everything, he notices that Dekard has like turned his head to look to one side, and one sword is like up like this, and the other like he's looking at the sword kind of, and the other sword is just kind of down, drooping at his side, and he kind of takes a double take, like he
And I'm
goes,
just like,
and he stops, like he waves and he stops mid track and goes, and he kind of points.
I play it off like I'm like, yeah, everything's fine.
Cool. Cursed, right? And keeps walking.
I mean, at least we're getting some humor out of this. This is fun because this is boring. Sit there,
Does
do
that,
a
like,
security scan and stuff again. Make sure everything's good. Doesn't look weird.
everything looks fine. That happens pretty much every hour and a half until it's about 2 o'clock. Around 2 o'clock, he comes through, does the wave thing, keeps walking. You're sitting there waiting. You're like, okay, well, he'll be coming back through in a minute. Kind of go back to doing whatever you're doing on your tablet or your phone and stuff, and then it's probably like 30 minutes and he hasn't come by.
Hey D, don't get your bones in a twist. But seems our buddy is a little late on his rounds. I'll do a scan through.
You don't see him.
I also don't see him on the cameras anywhere.
All right.
Could be
Do you wanna
pooping.
go? Nah, I'm sure it would have said something. It's like, hey, I got to take a crapper.
From the direction he went, it's the end of the south wing. Restrooms are up front.
I'm gonna go through the logs real quick, and I want to see if any doors have been opened or closed in the last 30 minutes from the outside in.
Outside doors have been closed whole time.
Okay.
The inside doors, whenever he goes to check a room, if it's one that's not, or if it's one that's closed completely, he doesn't open them. He'll go up, he'll flashlight through, he'll look around, he'll go into the next room.
Okay.
There haven't been any door accesses except for the security room.
No doors have been opened. Can I see if anything, as far as like either ceiling or a roof or windows or anything like that, have been opened, or are maybe like the panels from the top are like maybe falling down or anything like that?
Any perimeter checks?
Exactly.
So none of the cameras will go up like that. None of the external walls have windows that have access like that. Any of the external walls that you can see, the windows in them look like they're fine. They all have bars over them as well on the outside. None of that's been tampered with, but none of the cameras will go up high enough to see any kind of roof sunlights or anything like that.
One up. I'm gonna go through, and I'm just gonna see if any of the motion sensors are going off, other than the room that I'm in.
All right.
And as long as you're sitting completely still, the room that you're in isn't going off either.
Here's an idea. Why don't you hightail it back to the control room, see if he's in there, and I'll go for a little walk, see what I can
Yeah.
find.
Maybe you dozed off and missed it.
I mean, yeah, that's fine, but how are we gonna explain these bones walking around to people?
Plus, you're
Oh.
in a case.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy to get around. I'm just gonna sword my way out of it.
Dan, it's a question. Like, people, there's body bones. You're just gonna play back this cursed bones. That's your whole plan?
Yeah, why not? You don't think I'm on video swapping positions this whole time?
Yeah, you know, it's a valid point. You know, all right. Yeah, fine. I guess that works. I mean, it's also kind of funny. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But you vacate, and then I'll bust out the cage and just have a little walk around.
I don't know. You want to set off alarms? You want to do that?
I mean, no, but you got the key to let me out.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, you inspect something and then realize you ain't seen your buddy take off.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try. How do I word this? As I'm
Wait,
walking away.
Didn't at one point we swapped positions and I was sitting in the chair?
Yeah. But okay, so what I want to do is I want to walk away where he's in the case. I want the system to think that it hasn't been triggered at all, but I still want to let him out.
I mean, can't you hoodoo
That's what I'm going to try to do.
loop the everything?
Would it be a sneak around or change the game? I think it would be a change the game because you're not interacting with somebody.
Right.
All right.
I think. That's what I would go with. That's
Yeah,
what
when you use
change the game.
your abilities to give yourself or your allies an advantage. I mean, that's kind of what I'm setting up.
You're changing the game.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. I'm going to try to... Chance da Gama.
I'm trying to stifle the alarm system.
Stifle the alarm system and also make the system think that there's nothing going on.
But just in his case.
Exactly. 100%. All right, so...
I'm tracking. I follow.
Do I get story tags for the swords?
Not yet.
9.
9? Okay. What's your power?
2.
Power 2? Okay.
Or, I'd say... Yeah, 2. I don't really think the magnet stuff is going to come into play here. So basically just the electronic manipulation and computer hacking.
Okay.
Otherwise, if we throw magnets in and get that to work, it would be a 10.
Okay, that's fine. You having access and everything, that's... So you have essentially disabled the alarm for his case.
But I still want the system to think that it's active.
Yes.
Cool, cool. I'm like, all right, Dekard. And I'm walking away. I was like, you should be good to go. And I tell him to stay there until like I'm around the corner and gone. I'm going to... I don't really want to create a story tag. I don't really need to.
No, we'll just use it for that. It's fine.
Okay.
That's it would essentially be creating a story tag.
Creating the disabling the alarm system.
Yeah.
Cool. That's fine. That's it.
Case disabled or inert case, that kind of thing.
As
Disconnected case.
As soon as he turns the corner, I push open the case and start walking in the direction the guard last went.
Okay. Are you taking the swords with you?
Yep.
Okay. You walk to the end of the hallway. You go to a what is essentially the gates are down for that room, and looking around, you don't see him anywhere.
Want to investigate to see if I see like a scuffle happen, if anything's knocked askew.
Okay.
Recall that. 10.
10. Go ahead and yeah, it's okay. Looking around, you don't see anything there, so you keep looking. You kind of follow the path how it would go around the other side to the other wing. On the other side before, so essentially you have what is a loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Entrance is here, loops around through that wing, this wing comes back. The entrance essentially has 2 different paths you can go down. The other side is closed, so what he would do is he would go from the entrance where the security thing is around this way, all the way to this gate, and then back around. You get to the end of that loop before you would have to turn back, and off to the side of that wing, you see him lying on the ground.
I start doing this toward one of the cameras.
Looking at the tablet, you see him waving.
I'm going to pinpoint where he's at based off my rounds, where he's at, and I'm going to make my way over there.
Okay. When you get there, dude's laying on the ground, but he's not on camera.
Interesting. Can Can I check to see if anybody other than knowing what I've done and knowing how I went through and did it, is there anything that's been manipulated or changed in the system as far as the network and the security system and stuff goes? Manipulation, like loops, feedbacks. Like, is there a Polaroid in front of it?
Looking at the camera, examining the feed and everything, you see everything happening in real time. He's just not in it.
So like,
It's like
I'm
he's
moving, I see
invisible to it.
myself.
You see Dekard moving. Everything's moving. Like, you even like walk over and touch him, and it looks like you're just holding your hand in the air and doing this with your hand.
So seeing him on the ground, fuck. All right, so I want to see if his body and like his magnetic field that is naturally being produced and all that jazz that's coming out of his body naturally, if there's anything weird about it. Like if it's been changed, if any type of... I can roll and investigate. I don't know how you'd want to do this.
Let me think.
Basically seeing if there's some way that his body, his aura, his presence, anything like that is changing what the camera's picking up.
Sure. Going and examining him. He's breathing shallow. I'm looking over him and everything. You see kind of lifting him up, rolling him over. You see where he's been stabbed. There is a little pool of blood, but it doesn't look like it's bleeding a lot. It's just enough to where it's concerning for him, but not life-threatening.
It's a wound. It's not mortal.
Right.
Is there anything, Dekard, that you may know, dude, about that dagger thing? I know it's got that shroud of darkness, essentially, that allows people maybe to be not visible.
I don't particularly know a whole lot about the dagger, but I do know I would like to investigate him using my life siphon ability, and
While he's doing that, I wanted to check one more thing. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And my crime scene investigation. I just want to see, like, do I think something's making him unconscious? Is it purely just blood loss, or is the dagger affecting him in some way?
Not enough blood for it to be that. Looking over him, he is fully unconscious. He's breathing is shallow, but the dagger wound doesn't seem to be why.
Okay, that's my answer right there. Never mind.
It almost, from what other crime scenes you've been on and what other states you've found people in, it almost seems like he was drugged.
Okay. I'm gonna look around the room, see if anything looks like it's been messed with or moved, missing.
So y'all are, I wish I had a map for this. So you go around the loop, you go back toward the entrance. That last gate toward the entrance is closed, where there's only one way around the loop and then back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are by that gate at the end. While y'all are standing there examining him, looking around the room, the alarm system goes off. The other gates immediately close.
So we're not trapped in here? But we don't see anyone else in here?
No, just you and that one guard. All the cameras, everything that he's looking through, everything he's flipping through, you don't see anything on them. While you're flipping through, you go over everyone, you don't see anything. You hear a glass shattering sound. You flip back over, and to where Dekard's case was, the case is broken. But it doesn't look like anything's missing in that room.
So, effectively, somebody went there looking for the two swords, or something. And because I walked off, there's nothing there.
Maybe. That's what it appears to look like.
Okay.
Hey,
I want to take
that might not be accurate. I mean, if they can
my
make
hands
this body...
and form bone claws to kind of go over the hilts to create like spiky protrusions so
Sure.
that the blades come out and then there's extra spikes.
Dekard, that wasn't a bad idea, but if whatever it is can make this body appear invisible, what if something that they were looking for is gone, is not what you have? We should probably head back that way.
Oh, that's true, but the gate is down, so I'm just trying to make sure they can't easily take these from me.
As y'all are discussing this, after you hear the shatter and everything, and while y'all are trying to scramble and get everything moved and start to access the gates and unlock one and make your way around, on the other side toward the entrance, you see a woman walk from the side of the gate, just stand in front of you and goes, "Hello, boys."
Does she look familiar?
When she walks over, she has a full hood over,
Mhm.
cowl up.
Mhm.
When she walks in front of you, she takes it off, pulls it down. Never seen this woman before.
Oh, you must have been the person that we were waiting for. Welcome.
Oh, welcome yourself. Got curious, did you?
The second I like just freeze again like I'm a giant skeleton.
And she takes a minute and she goes, "You're fine."
What you shopping for?
Oh, not a lot, just a couple things.
Well, anything in particular?
Oh, I wanted one of those, and she points toward the swords, but it looks like your friend has them.
Yeah, he probably won't want to give them up.
It's fine. Simple distraction, if nothing else.
Who, like, somebody hire you, or what's going on? Just like your jam?
Looks at her watch and goes, "I mean, we could sit here and talk, but I'm sure your contact would much rather the rest of their collection not go up in flames. You got about 5 minutes.
Did you
Good luck."
plant
Turns around
something?
and walks off.
I say and then I stop her as she's walking.
As you reach out to stop her, you notice that on her side is a about 10-inch long sheath with a handle coming out of it that's almost like a pale flesh white.
The hilt.
It starts to kind of almost just glow like a flashlight, just like almost like a really dull flashlight.
Mhm.
She goes, "Good luck."
Hey, Kyle.
I tried to
Open
stop
that
her
gate.
with my abilities.
Get her. Open
And
the gate for me.
she just nothing. Okay. Looking down, I'm
That's
like, what? What?
I pointed her with one of the swords and go, "Hold on, Missy. You want one of the swords? Why don't you come take one? Hey, Kyle, get the gate for me."
Oh no.
Okay.
Like she's still walking. She's essentially at the door, and she opens the door, turns around and looks at you. She goes, "I got what I need." Kind of jostles her bag, closes the door, and walks out. And as soon as she closes the door behind her, the gate drops.
So the gate's open again?
No, all the gates are down now, including the one at the front door.
Well, Mr. Wizard, get on with the opening of the things.
I will open the gate and I will do a scan to see if there's anything anywhere. Completely dumbfounded that what I tried to do when I tried to stop her had, like, there's no effect, and then there's what happened.
There's, that's plastic. And then there's, I can't touch that.
Which means that it wasn't just a dagger. Anything on her was completely nullified of anything around her or anything like that.
Okay, is there a fire burning someplace in this building?
I'm going to do a search, check fire alarms, check for smoke anywhere in any of the cameras.
Looking at the cameras, everything looks normal except for the gates are down. Security lights are flashing, everything's fine, but the gates are down.
I'm going to, I guess, because these cameras aren't going to... I'm going to try something. Is there a way, if they're not already set to, can I use infrared on these cameras? Do they have the capability to do so?
Yeah, they would.
I'm gonna see if they'll pick up anything outside the standard visual spectrum.
Looking at where you are, you see Dekard. Dekard looks weird. You can see all of Dekard on infrared.
Like,
and he is
his
normal
body?
Dekard.
Okay.
He's 7 feet tall now and looks normal in the infrared. What you would expect to see in the infrared. When you'll turn and look at him, he's just a skeleton, but infrared shows all of him. Looking at the infrared at the guard on the ground next to you, he's not there, but you can see his heat signature where he's laying on the ground is that on the ground, but he's not on the camera.
So with that being said, I want to see if there's... So, Dekard, it looks like this lady, our friend here, that is gone at this point, has some kind of ability to like mask or cloak with whatever going on. I was like, however, I can still see some kind of heat signatures that are going on. So give me just a minute, and I want to go through and see if I can find any electronics giving off a heat signature, smoke getting ready to turn to fire, anything like that.
Looking different areas. I'm looking through all the different things, thinking about, oh, she said his collection. You go immediately to that wing where Dekard was. In Dekard's case, is shattered. There's glass everywhere. On the ground, on Dekard's case, it looks like a hot spot. Like the bottom of the case where Dekard would be standing looks like there's something sitting there that's warm.
I think I might have found something. We got to get back to your case. Do you want to hightail it after the lady that just bounced, or what? Because you got like 2 seconds to figure this out, and I just start booking it towards the other place. Back to his case.
Why don't you go after her, because I can deal with fire.
Let me ask, how are you getting through the gates?
Me? If I go, I can just open them and close them myself.
I'm just gonna...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you go, Dekard, you can't do that.
I look at the two swords like, you boys gonna wake up and be some help?
And there's not... They're just antique swords that are pretty much rusted out.
Well, then I guess I'll go after what's-her-nuts, who's getting away.
Cool. Split the party.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so we'll do it this way. You both look at each other. You open that gate immediately after you see that hot spot, and you go, you going with me or you going after her? I'm going after her. Cool. You reach out, you open the front gate. He busts out the front door and starts running. You go to the other wing, closing gate. Like, essentially, you open the gate and they follow behind you as you go. Ooh, okay. So, you're running after her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, we'll come back to you in a second. When you go to the other wing,
sorry, man.
Right? No, you're good. When you go to the other wing, you see a duffel bag setting, just both the ends of it are kind of drooped over the sides, but it's setting directly on the plinth that he was put on.
Just looking at it, and it's just a duffel bag.
It's a duffel bag.
Any metallic items being given off from inside? Any type of metal? Anything like that?
You can't feel it.
There's a zipper on the duffel bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stand away and just like... I kind of like...
Inside of you, you see a couple of glass containers full of some kind of liquid, some type of screen, and wires everywhere.
All right. Is it a bomb?
Do you think it's a bomb?
It's some type of explosive fire starting
What
device.
she said and what you're seeing, you presume it's a bomb.
Right. I want to kind of put my hand over it, and I want to see if I can understand the workings of how it works, its moving parts, the whole 9 yards.
Cool. So
you said there's a screen. There's some type of electronics here. That means there's some type of shit going on.
the screen is black right now. Looking at it, knowing that it's probably a bomb, you are going to have a status.
Scared.
No.
Oh.
Wire dilemma.
Wire dilemma?
2.
Okay.
So it's a -2 to essentially figuring out how this thing works. That being said, you do hear a kind of a ticking on it.
Okay.
You're not sure if it's for show or if it's actual. They have it wired up to some kind of clock.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can roll to investigate to see if you can suss out how it's wired up.
So, okay. minus 2 plus 3. I think that's how this is gonna work. Yeah. Yep. So plus 1. $11.
An 11. Wow. Looking at it, looking over it, you can quickly figure out that a couple of the wires are repeaters.
Okay.
And if you hit those, it's going off.
Okay.
There's a couple other things in there. It takes you it's counting down, right? Like you can hear it ticking. You touch the screen pops up. Hey, it has 2.5 minutes left. Okay. You're going. Go ahead and make a. What would it be? Would it be a toe-to-toe? I think it would be a toe-to-toe. Or take the risk? Maybe take the risk. Thinking of a disarm here. Because you know how to disarm it. The question is, are you brave?
Can you?
Are you sure? So are you sure enough of yourself? Because you think you know, but you're stressed that you're nervous.
Right, right.
And you have the wire dilemma.
Do we want to make it a face the danger?
No, that's an incoming hit. That's enduring physical harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he messes up. Okay.
Then he can face the danger.
Yeah, I think
I'm thinking take the risk. Daring risk your outright stupid feet.
All right, give me a minute because I'm going to have to do some math here. All right. Brave. Control. Edit. Are we putting a cap on power tags or no? Okay. 4. So 4 minus 2
Flat
is 2.
roll.
No, 4 minus 2 is 2.
Okay. Nice.
Oh!
You're sitting there, you're looking at it, you're looking at the wires. You're like, once you've unzipped it, everything inside of it, you can feel everything inside of it with your senses again. It's somehow the bag is putting it in a shroud. And you think, and you're like, ah, crap, it's a bomb. There's so many wires, what do I do? You're like, wait. Has to have a detonator. Has to have a thing.
That was
a thing.
Face the danger, right?
Take the risk. And you follow the wires and you follow the trail and everything and you find it and you eventually find this detonator that's in like the bottom of the bag. And you carefully use your ability to pull the wires apart and to pull everything to the other sides of the duffel bag to expose this detonator and this charge. And you just essentially you step back toward the gate, you use your powers and you lift the detonator straight up into the air. All the way to the ceiling. Detonator pops. It's for a minute. But the jars don't break. Everything inside of it's fine. About the time that your hearing starts to come back, and then you hear the sirens coming down the street.
So did the bomb go off, or
the detonator? Yes.
Okay.
But it went off in a way that it was not dangerous.
So the explosion triggered, but it didn't trigger. It's like the blasting cap that went off.
Yes.
I got you.
And everything else is fine.
Is there a way to when that happens? Just because I want to add some flavor to it, just because I think it'll be cool.
Probably.
Once I see that happen, when I know it's gonna pop, I want to encase it in a field.
Okay.
So when I encase it, so when it pops, it's just nothing.
Yeah, you could have done that. Yeah.
Nothing.
Or you could have it pop on where my skeleton is supposed to be. And
no, he would have to move everything for that.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, so it's like a little pop, and I contain the cap.
Flipping to the other side, backing it up like 2.5 minutes. Kyle opens up the gate. You go running out the door. You hear the gate and the door close behind you. You turn and look, and you see her trailing off down the street opposite the police station.
Okay. I'm gonna run after her, running full tilt.
Okay. Running full tilt. You're big. You got long legs. You're booking it. You got the swords in hand. You don't even realize you got the swords. You're just running.
He's stolen from a museum.
Um, you're watching her. She looks to be running pretty hard, but doesn't seem to be slowing down for anything. At one point, she cuts down a side street. You cut down the same side street. You turn and look. She's another 20 feet further in front of you. Whenever you go to stop, you're kind of clomping, right? Because you're just bone. And whenever you go to stop, instead of this kind of this or whatever, there's this of your bone foot kind of scraping against the pavement. And whenever you hear that sound, she turns and looks at you and kind of grins, and it slows down enough to turn around, kind of stops, turns around, and is running straight at you.
Okay. Hi. She's coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
Does she look like she's gonna attack me?
It's up to you. Maybe. I mean, she's running. She's got her head down and everything. She's pulled her cowl back up and her hood back over. I mean, essentially all you can see is this.
Okay. I want to make a move. See if I can go toe to toe, and I want to try and counter whatever she's doing. Like bring the flat of the blade across the back of her head if I can.
Okay. Yeah. She's running in. You try to time it about right. You go to swing. Go ahead and roll.
My character sheet.
While he's doing that, can I make my way out towards where it looked like she was boning out to as well?
8.
In a minute, yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, get to choose one.
Block, dodge, or counter to the best of their attempt.
Okay. You run, or she's running at you. You go to pull the sword back to hit her with the flat of the blade, and you notice that for whatever reason, the closer she's getting, the faster she's moving. So instead of getting the sword ready, you already have it pulled back. So you just slide your foot back and like lean your shoulder into it as she like barrels her shoulder into yours. You slide back 10 feet. She lands on the ground and kind of looks up at you and goes, "Nice!" Turns around and runs off the other way.
I want to give chase again, but I want to try and... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You blocked. You're good.
Okay. I want to know... I'm going to chase her again, but I want to use my Pathfinder and local historian to see if I can't cut her off and get ahead of her.
Okay. Changing the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think changing the game.
9.
A 9?
Mhm.
Yeah. We're gonna make a story tag. Yeah.
Sweet.
You know of a shortcut. You see her run off again, and she's really like her acceleration is really high. Like she's still running at about the same speed that you can keep up with, but she's just 20 feet ahead of you before you can even start to move. You're running full speed already. You notice her turn down a different street up ahead of you, and you take, like she skips a couple little alleyways, so you run up to the first alleyway, you book down it, you're running full tilt. You're running, and you're running. You pass one, you pass another one little side street, you pass another little side street, and then you turn and you run out. And you turn and look, and she's coming right at you again. She's maybe like 10 feet from you. She looks up and she goes, "Oh," and she starts to, like, you see her starting to scramble to try to slow down.
Okay, I want to... Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take a swing at her, but I want to try and stab the sword and one of my bone blades through her foot to pin her to the ground.
Chief.
Okay, yeah. Hit her with all you got.
10.
10. So it'd be that. Because she is very... Okay. So from her stuff, it would be it'd be a 7. So yeah, you still get to pick one.
Okay. I'm gonna gain the upper hand and take one juice.
Okay. You rear back, like you pop out in front of her. She's trying to scramble and slow down a little bit, and you just straight her with one sword and kind of just go to reach out and stab her with your hand. And you've morphed into this point. You, she get able to, like, the dagger flicks up in front of her, knocks the sword up into the air. She's not even holding it. It just pulls itself out of its scabbard and goes through the air, flicks it up, and she catches it back in her hand. You catch her on the shoulder with your other hand. She kind of stumbles back and kind of spins around you and goes to fall off, and he goes, "Nope." Cuts her hand with the dagger. She's gone.
Like gone, like
You can't see her anymore.
Okay. I want to burn a power tag to try and use my life siphon in a way it's not meant to be used, to see if I can detect her life.
I mean,
Because it lets me redirect life, so I kind of want to see if I
Yeah.
can use it
it's
to
in the same
detect
wheelhouse.
life.
Be like a light
Yeah.
holding back.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Okay. So we're calling it stop holding back.
Yeah.
I feel like it's super reasonable.
Yeah, I would say it's not even a significant. I would say it's just maybe not even a stop holding back. Maybe even a.
Because it's just such a small little.
Yeah, I would say probably just to change the game, honestly.
Okay.
Just to flat change the game.
8.
An 8? Yeah, okay. Yeah. You're able to censor, like, it takes a second for you to adjust because you go to reach out and pull, but you're like, I don't really want to do that. I just want to, like, just enough to know where she is. And you're able to, like, it takes you half a second and you see her, like, scrambling to get up and she's gone again. Like, she just takes off again.
Yep, back to chasing her. And I want to do the same thing if I can. Try and get ahead of her.
Okay, yeah, you can do it again.
That's a 10.
Yeah. It takes a little bit longer. It's probably 5 minutes later. Kyle, whenever you come outside, you turn to look. You don't see either one of them anywhere. And as you turn one way, you can see the sirens and the lights coming up from one side of the street.
I can't really call it Dekard. There's not much I can do here. Trying to figure out how I can do this before they get here. Like, I can see them coming up the streets. We've done some really wild off the wall stuff. Things are extraordinary at this point.
But they don't have to know that.
Right, and that's what I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. What I want to do is I'm going to use my capabilities to go back into the security system, and I want to make it seem like everything is fine. There was a break-in. We're not sure who or what it was. One of the guards is in pursuit. Took off into pursuit. Found him unconscious. And that I was told that there may be some type of... this is a story I'm crafting, and I want this to be in their system. That I encountered this person. They said that there may be a bomb-like thing. I managed to disarm the bomb. I came out here, and the individual had essentially disappeared. And I'm going to craft that as however I got to make my bullshit way into making it a thing, and cover my tracks and stuff.
Convince me.
I'm gonna.
Convince me.
You need to rewatch those. Those are so good.
So, how do we want to do this? Because I'm crafting it also in their system as well. Like I'm making their system see this stuff.
I
Like,
just
I'm
roll convince.
convinced.
And if it,
Okay.
yeah, I just say convince, and if it works out, then across the
Okay.
board.
Okay.
Because you got the +3 from all the stuff you've already done.
Yeah, you got all the legwork.
Right off the
you
bat,
got all
dude.
the,
It's actually a +6.
yeah, because you got all your abilities and then all the
Mhm.
legwork. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, you're just looking to make sure there's no downsides.
Up. So because I'm also now using, because I have that new perk on me, this is like a 17 that I just rolled.
Yeah. Wait, no,
Wait,
because it's.
so it was +6. So it's actually that's okay. It's only a 15. That's a lie. It's only a 15.
It's okay, cool.
Only a 15.
Yeah. It's only a 15.
So it's got the 6 and you rolled a 9.
It's exactly what just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you got your other options on that
Yeah,
now.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Cause it's dynamite.
It's dynamite.
Where's the kaboom? That was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Kaboom. What Ocho Cinco. So what we're gonna do is so the way this works is traditionally it gives them basically a power +2 status. So it would be 3 + 2, which would be a 5 status. Can I just put like a 5 status of bullshit?
I mean,
can I do that?
A 5 status of assured.
I mean, that's fine. The
Founded.
bullshit thing sounded funnier.
Yeah, but it's not. You're convincing them. I mean, there
Yeah.
is truth to this.
It
You're
literally
actually
says
telling them
like
what
one of them
happened.
would be convinced is one of the options.
Okay, yeah, convinced 5. So yeah, the cops show up.
Enthralled. They believe all your bullshit.
Essentially, the cops show up. You're like, hey, I was just here supposed to do this. I was checking on a guard. They did rounds. You kind of tell them everything that happened, leaving out the Dekard stuff. And when I came back, this was broken. There was a bag. I disarmed it. I have FBI training, all this other stuff. You can check the footage, all this stuff. Everything checks out. Everything should check out. Here's my papers. Here's all this stuff. Here's my contact information, whatever, what have you. And they're like, it takes them like 30 minutes and they're running through the tapes and they're looking at everything and they're like, okay, yeah, so you're free to go.
I'm
It
like,
all checks out.
cool. And then I start walking out.
Yep. You just walk on out.
Yep.
Everything's fine.
Hey guys, by the way, you heard anything about a 7-foot skeleton running around with a couple stolen swords?
On my
Fucking
way
weird.
out as I'm walking, can I tap back into the security system and see which way they headed and which way they ran to see maybe if I can kind of try to give chase to the best of my knowledge?
You never untapped from it.
Nope.
But on your way out, you notice that they took off the opposite direction.
I'm gonna walk, and then as soon as I gun around a corner, I'm gonna book.
Okay, yeah. Cutting back to the other side of this, you do the same thing. You kind of gauge where she's going based on when she turned and take off and give yourself enough time to get caught up and maybe just a couple steps ahead of her before you turn and try to cut her off. When you do so, you successfully do so, and this time instead of being running full bore, she's like, aha. She's stopped about 10 foot short and she's actually holding the dagger in one hand. And you notice that she has a little shield, like a little buckler in the other hand.
So you're gonna fight me now, or what's your end game here?
Yeah, let's have at it, big boy.
How about you?
You're starting to be able to feel a little bit. Sun's creeping up often. Like you can see the dark of the night starting to shift to that really faint blue tint.
I want to go toe to toe with her, but as soon as
Yeah.
I get within like a basically melee range, I'm gonna start life draining her to take the fight out of her.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't really run. She doesn't really do anything. She just looks very calmly, very paced, very measured steps. One foot, slide the other foot up. One foot, slide the other foot up. She's trying to get close enough to make it some kind of attack at you.
10.
And 10. Okay, yeah, choose 2.
You get them good. And manage to achieve your goal. So for that, I'll take, in the flurry of scuffling about, I grab her pack that she indicated has the things she wanted,
Okay.
and I just want to give her the status drained.
Okay, that's fine. You hit her. You kind of, she kind of takes it on the chin and just stumbles over, loses her footing, does a couple stumbled steps, and then turns back around and kind of looks up at you as you're holding her pack in one hand. She kind of looks at you. Still, all you can see is this, and she goes, "Oh well, it was a good run." And before she does anything else, she just kind of tosses the dagger, like does a single little toss and catches it back, flipped the other way, and then just slings it at you.
Okay. I don't know how I want to play this. Oh, real quick, because did I actually burn my power tech life drain or life
Yeah,
siphon?
it would have.
Okay.
Then he wouldn't have been able to weaken her?
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm.
it's a good catch.
So let's back that up and try this again. Well, then it would have been a 9 because I just wouldn't have been able to life siphon.
That's fine. I mean, it's still a good hit. Well, I mean, in that case, it's either you take her bag or you knock her across the face.
I take the bag.
Okay. Yeah, you take the bag. Y'all have a little scuffle. You take the bag, and she kind of does a spin and pulls back out of it and does the same thing. She's like, "Oh, this is a good run." Tosses the knife up and then slings the knife at you after she's taken a couple steps back and re-squared up.
What move do I want to do? I guess I'll try and face the danger.
Okay. Right now, from the dagger, you're going to, depending on how much danger you're able to face, it'll be a disabled 5.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, 10.
That's it. Okay. It goes sailing, like you're giving your form, you're able to get out of the way very quickly. It goes sailing past you, and in the moment that it takes you to kind of turn off to one side, you look back and she's like completely gone.
I look back and see if I can find the dagger.
You heard it hit the ground, and you turn and look. It's not there.
Well, 50% still a win.
Looking down, being caught up in the moment and in the run and the rush and the chase and everything else, you got the bag in one hand, you got one sword in the other hand, and you're missing a sword.
Did she manage to take it from me, or
Do
I
you're not
just not
sure.
see it?
It's not on you.
I'll slowly start, or I'll quickly backtrack the way I came, looking for the sword.
Carefully backtracking the way you came and walking your way down and everything. You eventually bump into Kyle. Ask him if he's seen it. He's like, "What are you talking about? You had it." It's like, okay, cool. Let's backtrack to at least this point. Y'all don't find it.
Well, damn, I think she got at least one of the swords.
What
Which
about
one
the
did
dagger?
she get? She still got the dagger. Threw it at me. I managed to dodge it, but I couldn't find it afterward.
Do you know of that dagger being able to return to people after they've gotten rid of it or anything like that?
No, it does make people go kind of poof and like disappeared. So I think maybe she just did that.
Take me
and
back
then
to that
picked it
alley
up.
where you guys are fighting.
I'm about to be a 6-foot+ gentleman naked, carrying a sword and a backpack. Maybe,
Why don't you go get in the car and then I'll just go then?
well, because the car is all the way back at the museum.
I give him
No.
my jacket. I just give him my jacket, so he's Donald Ducking now.
Looking at the weapon that you're still
Back.
holding, essentially on the handle, they've tied a little string with a little tag on it. It's the riddle sword that you're still holding. The one that she took is fronting.
Well, that's less than stellar, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, you got the
Oh.
backpack, right?
I look in the backpack to see what was taken.
Inside the backpack is
A sandwich.
no. I don't want to say it. It's going to be so mean.
The big old fuck you card.
No. It's a set of clothes that'll fit you.
So we didn't stop her at all. She got away.
I want to go to that alley, or while we're in that alley, I want to see if I can sense that dagger anywhere in the area that was thrown.
So knowing what to look for, knowing that it makes these voids that you can't seem to reach through, both from the backpack and the dude on the ground and everything else, you find a spot where it had hit the concrete and embedded itself like it had hit literally anything that like a piece of paper up to the hilt in the concrete. Whereas there's just this void. I'm reaching out and kind of running your hand over. It's not there anymore, but it was there, and it's nowhere to be found now.
Well, looks like she managed to not only get away, she kept the dagger that was thrown, and now she has a sword. Looks like we have officially sucked at our job. But let me go ahead and turn around while you go ahead and get dressed.
Well, we have a secondary issue because whether or not she actually took something or the sword was her focus the whole time.
I guarantee. I mean, she said diversion. I remember her saying that specifically. There's ways around. I'm not worried about that.
Now that I have a sense, well, I can't use that because I burned that tag. Never mind. I found her by burning, by using my life siphon power, but I can't do it again right now.
How
So,
long ago
just
was
as
this,
a-
out of curiosity? Time-wise?
Caveat, and probably like 30 minutes.
Okay.
As a caveat and as a somewhat of a meta knowledge, y'all can go ahead and add a nemesis to your cards.
Okay. The hood?
The hood.
Ooh. I don't think she's really that bad. She gave him his clothes.
Which makes you question where she got them, for one. And also, it's great because that means that you played into her hands. Y'all did exactly what she wanted you to do.
I kind of get the feeling she wanted this sword the whole time.
I 100% guarantee that was a fact. I just don't know how, if you had it in your hand, you'd no longer have it. Did you drop it somewhere?
I mean, I grabbed the bag. Maybe she switcherooed me somehow.
I don't know, man. I wasn't there. I had to stop a bomb.
Did she use the dagger's influence to mess with my mind?
No. No, and Dagger never touched you.
I mean, maybe she doesn't have it. Maybe we really just... Now that I've got clothes, I'm not worried about being a naked man. I want to crime scene, like, CSI the shit out of...
Take 20, everything between where
Yeah.
that happened and where you started. Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not there.
Okay.
I want to see if there's anything that happened anywhere in between when him and I departed within the security system that I mean, I'm just gonna jack back into, I guess.
Yeah.
See if there's any point when I noticed he didn't have the sword.
No, he left with the sword. It's on camera. You can see him running down the street with the sword on camera. In fact, in your unedited footage that you have still in the tablet that you made a backup of. Yeah, as far as the camera can see, when he took off, he was sword in each hand.
I mean,
Did she ever hit you? Did she touch you at all in any of this thing?
Shoulder checked me in the alleyway.
Did anything happen at that point?
I got shoved back 10 feet, but that was about it.
Are you sure that's it?
Well, obviously no, because I don't have a sword and I don't recount when I lost it.
If you think back to when that happened, is that when it was taken?
So, thinking back, now that the adrenaline's worn off, the bone daddy's worn off, you're back clothed, pretty normal, wound down, looking through this stuff, and man, what the heck happened to that thing? You remember vividly, she shoulder checked you, then you went to stab her, and also you went to punch her you like shaped your hand into this point and you cut her with it. And you can clearly see whenever you go to cut her with it, it's not there. At some point between the shoulder check, or from the shoulder check to where you go to hit her with both hands at the same time, it's gone.
I mean, it's a real mystery. We'll have to think on that for a while.
Are your eyes brown right now?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't believe I don't believe what he says at all. I'm like, right. I'm like, well, I guess at this point we should probably go see our dude and give him the bad news. You can tell him you suck and lost his thing. Dork.
I'm sorry. I wanted to deal with the bomb. You wanted me to chase down. What were you gonna do to her?
I don't know. Maybe I could have done better than what you did, which was... We're bickering about this on the way back to the dude's bar.
Right.
You could, I don't know, got your fancy little tablet, hack into the city street cams and find her.
That's a 100% possibility. It's not like I haven't thought about doing some type of facial recognition type thing based off the eyes alone to maybe try to locate her somewhere in the city. I haven't thought about that at all. I'm just driving.
Okay. What I'm getting at is...
Which establishment do you go to?
The new one.
Nope.
Not...
Go to our office. For now. Because until we've exhausted every avenue, there's nothing to report. Let's beat the ribs till they show and make sure that we've done everything we can before we call it quits.
Okay, sure, but let me try putting something in perspective for here, D. This dude knows his thing's there. They're gonna find out one way or another that thing is MIA at this point. We were there to make sure this dude didn't think things. This is gonna fall back to us, dude. We should.
No, it 100% is, but it's much better if we can say, and we got it back.
Both of them are missing right now.
The dagger and the sword.
No, I have the other sword.
Yes, the other
Oh
one.
yeah, and you have the other sword.
Yeah, well, kind of hard to explain. Well, I have. I mean, I guess I could say I bumped into some crazy chick wearing a mask, dropped a sword, and I brought it back because I thought it looked
Or just
cool.
don't lie
But,
and say, hey, you're using it as a prop and you just ran off and it was in your hand, which is legit truth.
I mean, but then why was it in the museum?
Because you were there
With a
and it was
miraculous
his. It was his
artifact.
collection.
Or just, keep the damn thing because they can't keep it safe at the, like, give it back to him, but it's safer with us because at least we then know she's not breaking in to get it again.
Right, but you should still tell the dude that just gave us $50,000.
Okay, you gave somebody $50,000 and your shit still got stolen. Would you rather hear that they have a plan or actively searching, or sorry, don't give us the rest of the money?
What I think should be, hey, this is an update. This is what happened, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Versus leaving this dude completely in the dark.
And we can do that from our office, where we can actively be engaged in searching for her, versus driving out to a bar.
Cool. I'm gonna text the dude and tell him to meet at our office then.
All right, that's fine, but we're going to the office where you can do your thing.
What thing?
So hack into the traffic cams to try and find her, so we can go hunt her ass down. You are a simple son of a bitch sometimes, because we literally just said this, and then
Am
you're
I
like,
simple, or do I just really like messing with you?
I have a sword. It's entirely possible I won't mind finding a new partner.
Right, you have a sword. You had two. Now you only have one. I'll send the dude a message. Do we have a way that we can contact him? He gave us a card, nothing like that?
No. He knows where you are. But his card only had the beacon and the way station on it.
Plus, he wouldn't be at the wouldn't be at the way station. It's Wednesday.
Friday.
And he might actually
I
still
know.
be at the...
I wholeheartedly think that we should definitely update this dude.
I
as soon as we
agree,
can.
but let's get a plan going until we can get a hold of him.
By plan, you mean bullshit our way into some excuse.
No,
Please, no, I messed up.
Right.
No,
That's 100% what this is. You're trying to CYA, Dekard.
No, the best odds, because the longer we wait, the colder the trail gets. So hunt her down best you can now, so we can go find her.
As I'm
You
driving, I'm literally going through and trying to see if I can find anything as far as within statewide and whatever facial recognition stuff specifically, and that while we're driving, as he's just popping off at the gums.
So you set your algorithm. Actually, you set your tablet to do scan for any security cameras, any CCTV cameras, literally anything nearby in that path that you and him took whenever he was chasing her. You find a few. You find one that clearly shows her shoulder check in, but she's not there.
Right.
It looked like he stopped in the middle of the road and reared the sword back, put his shoulder down, and then slid backward 10 feet with no explanation. And whenever he was sliding backwards, the sword on his guarding hand essentially disappeared from his hand. Beyond that, you can't find her anywhere. It's just like it was at the museum.
But what if I want to try to use live cam footage to find her?
It's just like it was at the museum. She doesn't exist on camera.
With my knowledge of the city,
Which is weird. Because Network said that he had her on footage and showed you the footage. So, with your knowledge of the city.
with my knowledge of the city and the last place I knew she was, can I try and figure out likely places for her to go to ground?
As vast as the city is, and knowing that she can essentially walk on camera without being detected or walk through infrared sensors and motion sensors and never set them off.
With that thought that I was going through after that conversation without no cameras or her anywhere, I'm going to start some drama. I'm going to turn the car around and I'm going to head back to the way station.
Okay.
Why are we going to the way station?
We gotta talk to our boy about some stuff. Why is it that he had footage of her on camera, and I can't seem to find any?
Okay,
That
but
doesn't make sense.
you're going the wrong place. He's at the Beacon.
Did he go to the Beacon?
It's
Friday.
Friday.
Okay, then let's go to the Beacon.
And he won't be there till 6 p.m.
Or he could be there early. Maybe he's getting stuff ready.
I'm just saying, like, that's what the card said. Go ahead.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
I do it. I dig it. I'm gonna throw his other sword at him.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all go to the Beacon. Same thing. Doorman's like, "Yep, come on in." Dude behind the bartender goes, "You tell him who you're here to see." He's like, "Yep, second door down the hallway on the left. Same setup. Go into the room. The room looks the exact same. He's not there yet. Set up. He'll be here in a few hours. You're welcome to wait. If you want to, you can wait in his room."
Hey, before you wander off, if I needed a person to track a person who was peddling artifacty type things, who might I speak to?
The only person who handles that kind of business here is the mistress.
Of fucking court. Is she available?
Who's asking?
I'm like her husband. Say it out loud.
Don't make this any more awkward than it already has to be.
I'm just living it up.
Like, you notice even after he asked, he kind of smirks and he's trying to hold back a laugh. He's like, "I'll let her. I'll let her. I'll leave her a message. I'll let her know."
I appreciate it.
Y'all want to wait until he gets there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like you hear him coming down the hallway and the door opens to this room at exactly 6 p.m. on the dot. Like, not a second difference, just on the money. He walks in and he goes, "Oh, hey guys." He walks in, looks the same as he did whenever you met him the first time. Shuts
Hey.
the door behind him and everything's kind of baggy on him. He walks over, sits down, and unfolds his table, and all the papers are right where he left them. It's all a mess, but everything's right where he left it, and it's all there. He goes, "How'd it go?"
I throw Riddle on the table, like, less than impressive.
As it clanks against the table, he goes, "Oh, oh, oh." Okay.
No, he's still napping. It's fine. However,
Well, like I said, we weren't sure if there was. It's fine. It looks to be. He kind of picks it up and gingerly turns it over. Okay, there's no marks. It's fine.
so we got.
And the other one's still at the museum?
Here's me chuckle.
As a matter of fact, I had both of them, and somehow in the midst of a fight, she managed to take one from me. She got hunting, and the issue we have is I don't know how the hell she took it from me, but she never hit me with a dagger. So either she's got more things that you don't know about, or
Well, given her line of work, I'm sure she has a few different things. That being said,
we did manage to save, in points to Kyle, the rest of your collection, however. She set off a bomb to blow it up.
Yeah, she did.
interesting.
That got taken care of. As far as all footage on there, anything wild that happened never happened. The bomb was
Perfect.
thing. Yeah, I nuked the system. I worked the whole thing. I created this
Well,
elaborate story.
as you're saying this and everything, you notice him start to relax a little bit, and he reaches out and very just casually picks up the sword and holds it up and he goes,
But I do have one question for you, man.
"That ain't bad. If everything else is still there, we're doing all right. Thank you so much."
I have a question for you. I'm a little perplexed here. Given that tech and all that jazz is kind of my forte and it's what I'm good at, she possesses some kind of extraordinary, I guess, abilities that allow her to not be seen by any tech or anything in that museum. how is it you have footage of her? I've worked the system. I have done things that a normal person would never be able to be capable of doing to see her.
Look at the date. And he pulls it back up and everything on the different, like he pulls out a tablet and pulls it up and kind of skims through it and everything to where he finds it and hits play. The date's dated like 3 years ago.
Is this before she had the dagger?
It was the night she stole the dagger.
Copy.
And the dagger, like, she doesn't touch the dagger at all in the footage. Like, the guard grabs the dagger, hands her the dagger. She's standing in the door, and the guard hands her the dagger and closes the door.
So she has the power to manipulate people.
I don't know.
Something.
Or if that dude could have
does.
been in on it.
We did everything we could, and we questioned him in every way that we know of. We brought in our own people. He was clean. He doesn't remember it.
Yeah, she was wiped.
But the collection saved. Half ain't bad. Then, shall we settle up then?
Sure. One more question. So, she threw the dagger at my buddy here, and then she bamfed out, from far as I can gather from what he's telling me. How would that dagger go back to her if she wasn't there? Does that make sense?
Light reading it is. Reaches over, like, kind of shuffles through the pile on his table, and somehow pulls out a book that's like this thick, on essentially just papers on the table, and goes thunk on top of the papers and goes, bit of light reading for you. It'll help catch you up on your Arthurian lore.
Cool. I don't want to read, so I want to see. I'm gonna try to just absorb some knowledge real quick. I'm gonna pull my phone out, put it on the table, put my hand on it to see if I can scour the internet for any information at all pertaining to that dagger and how it works.
You find everything from something cut with the dagger ceases to exist, to something cut from the dagger dies instantly, to something cut from the dagger disappears and is shrouded in mystery.
So looking specifically at how I want to try to figure out how that's possible if she threw the dagger, if it was no longer on her person. She cut herself with it, but where would the dagger have gone?
No,
at that point when she threw it, when she didn't have it, how did she get it back?
So she threw it. So this is meta, right? And this is probably on me for not describing it well enough.
She threw it.
She cut herself.
Turned to look back at her.
She threw it. He turned to look back at her after he dodged it.
And she just picked it back up and kept going?
She was gone. He turned to look for the dagger. The dagger was gone. Essentially, she threw it. She
diversion, grabbed the dagger, and then bounced. Got it.
Took off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably on me from not describing that well enough. But
that's what I figured.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. Sorry that your other thing's gone, but I mean,
we're gonna have a little chit chat with the mistress of this location to see if maybe she knows who might be wanting to, or where she might be heading to peddle.
And kind of looks at you and goes, "I've heard about you. Good luck with that." Anyway, pulls out his checkbook, writes down a number, and he says, "Should be all squared up now. It was only one, but it was the rest of the collection as well. So a little bit off the top for small error, but should be fine."
If she ever comes back down, you give us a call again. We got a sure.
As we're walking out,
happy to work with you guys.
Look at the piece of paper, kind of palm it and look at it. Or the check, I should say.
It's a chunk.
Give me
we're gonna have to change your weakness tag.
Okay. Okay.
It's a y'all are all right for a while.
I look at Dekard and I'm just like, bro, I'm gonna buy all the suits ever.
So it was around another 100K.
So 150,000 in total.
and that's without whatever he took off the top for missing the other sword.
Okay. Before I go try to talk to your wife, man.
If you leave and talk to us.
Right. I know this might be the paranoia in me and the weird nerd guy, talking out of his ass. I'm like, you hired two special dudes with capabilities and whatnot to go look over your little thing. And we have this conversation with him, and he says it's very important. They're a big deal to him.
And he's
You think it's odd that he's totally okay with just missing that one? As important as these things are supposed to be, as far as like the reading and stuff that I'm gathering, or am I reading too much into this?
I would say this is what a detective calls a hunch. But no, it don't seem copacetic to me either. Definitely pings the weird shit-o-meter.
Okay. See, I'm learning, man. I'm learning. All right.
But,
well,
yeah, you don't typically dole out this kind of cash for a 50% success.
No. Like
It was more than a 50 though. It was
50 and 100.
The whole collection was saved. I mean, it's antiques of all different varieties and art from all different varieties. I mean, you're looking at, for the whole collection is.
Well, then hell, we probably got shortchanged.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's the way this stuff goes on, the way this world is with all these things going on. Just really weirds me out when somebody's totally fine with something of modern importance that has the ability to do some really bad shit. It's fine. Whatever.
I know he's your least favorite person, but we might make use of our other contact.
No, Mr. Brown, I've been thinking about that. But let's see if we can talk to your wife before we even make that an option.
Oh, yes, let's do that.
So y'all go back out to the general area. A couple hours pass. You kind of every time you go up to the, every time you. Well, it was because he didn't get there till 6 p.m. So.
Oh, that's true. You guys serve dinner.
I can have the cook whip something up for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, he hands you a menu and whatnot. Wait a couple hours. Every time you go up to get another drink or whatever, you kind of nope, not yet.
You guys
hasn't said anything. Hasn't said anything.
You got any cage fighting happen tonight?
Should be a couple.
I think we're gonna need to get old narrow ass in there and pop his cherry.
Huh?
What?
What?
You down, right? Yeah? You down?
What am I down for?
You down? That's right. High fives him.
Yeah, dude, let's get it. Has no idea what he's talking about.
Turns around,
just kind of looks at you and looks at your buddy and goes, maybe another night. Couple more hours pass. It's like midnight now. Nah,
all right,
nothing yet.
Blow. Slipped the bartender a card and said, if she ever gets around to the little people in her life, you just let her know.
Yeah, little people. That's.
Is it because I lean in close to Kyle and go, is it because I'm so big?
Well, it's about midnight, so.
Okay, we're gonna go. Thank you.
Y'all leave. Yeah, that'll be that case. That'll be where we wrap for the night. Off screen, while y'all are waiting and everything for her to maybe call you, the network goes into her office. She greets him in the same way that she greets everybody. She's too busy for him, all this other stuff. He walks in, he's like, hey, yeah. In his actual appearance, which is entirely different than what y'all have seen so far. Walks over to her, sets it down on the table, and he goes, there's one. She goes, good. Now give me the other one. He turns around and leaves.
This motherfucker played
End
us.
scene.
That's it.